everybody. Welcome to Corbin Redhound Football on WCTT T107. Tonight, broadcasting from Campbell Field, a beautiful evening for football as the Kentucky State High School playoffs roll on all across the Commonwealth. I'm Dave Cox, joined by my partner, Bertie Foley. Bertie, we've said it night after night after night after night. Another beautiful night for football. A little bit on the cool side, but actually a little warmer than it was last week. But a good football game here tonight. Two very evenly matched teams, only separated by a couple spots in the RPI rankings. Lincoln actually a couple spots ahead of Corbin in the 4A 4A rankings as far as RPI is concerned. Corbin comes into the game 8-3 on the year, Lincoln 9-2. But you've kind of said all year long to me, anyway, certainly on the air a couple times as well, keep an eye on Lincoln. They're a pretty good football team.
Well, they're coached very well. They're excited about this season, Dave. It's been a while since Lincoln's been 9-2, so they come in here with nothing to lose. You know, the newspapers and the armchair quarterbacks and all the people across the state, they have Corbin, I think, as a mental favorite, but they've written down that Lincoln might be the favorite. But it's going to be a good game. I've talked to some people that have seen them this year, actually to a guy that had them in a referee game. He said they're very physical. He said they'll get after you, and they believe in what's going on this season. So I think you're exactly correct. It's going to be a good night for high school football all over the state, not just here. But pretty excited about this game. Redhounds will have to play to win.
Well, 96 teams left in the state playoffs as of tonight. You've got 16 teams in all six of the classes, so to speak. Many interesting games. I don't know that any of the fours beat any of the ones last week. There were no major upsets. So basically, you got good games going on all throughout the state. We're going to review some of those here just in a few minutes. But Lincoln County, as we said, 9-2 on the year. Their two losses to two very good football teams, two teams in the top four of the state RPI rankings in 4A. Lost 35-13 to Franklin County, and then lost 48-7 to Boyle County. I tried to look through their schedule and being as objective as I could be. I really not, and I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but I'm not sure who their best win was. Probably West Jessamine. They beat West Jessamine at West Jessamine 27-14, and West Jessamine's only got 3 losses on the year. So that was probably their best win. But much like Corbin, probably their best game was actually a loss. I think Corbin's best game this year was the 37-34 loss against Johnson Central, and certainly probably got more people's attention than anything else. And then the close game that Lincoln played with Franklin County, 35-13, probably their best game.
Well put. You know, it's hard to believe that you can call a loss one of your better games, but I think you're exactly right. Johnson Central, very, very good football team, been rated high all year, playing at home tonight against Cub Cath, which is a very, very interesting game, and I know we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But the thing about Lincoln coming into the game, I don't know what they're going to say in the locker room, but if I'm the coach, what do we got to lose, guys? Let's go out and play. We're not supposed to come to Corbin and win. However, I think we can. We played Franklin very, very tough. Franklin at one point was number 2 in the state. They've been in the top 4 all year. They're very well coached, and they year in and year out, they're always a contender. So they have to look at that to be pretty excited. And then, you know, their last game of the season, they played Garrett, which is their rival. Garrett very well coached and beat them pretty good. So they're coming in with some momentum. They're excited about football over in Stanford, and I think we're going to have to really play hard to win the game.
Well, about a 2-to-1 ratio. If you're wondering what kind of team Lincoln County is, about a 2-to-1 ratio as far as running to passing. They're going to run it about 2 out of every 3 plays if things go the way they would like for them to. Of course, they did throw it a little bit more in those games they were behind, but 2,392 yards rushing the football. They don't have anybody over 1,000 yards, but they got that net rushing scattered over about 4 kids. Damon Spiegel, Reed Curtis, and then the quarterback, Tucker Foster, doing most of the carrying. All 3 of those kids are over 600 yards rushing. And then they've got a senior, Cash Smith, who also has a little over 300 yards rushing. 1,386 yards passing. The quarterback, as I said, is Tucker Foster. He is a junior. He's got 12 touchdown completions on the year. He is 122 out of 213. So they've thrown the ball 213 times over about 12 games coached. So they're fairly well balanced, probably as balanced as anybody in Kentucky. What's interesting about Corbin's statistics is the first time that I've remembered this in a long time, or even noticed it, I guess. But Corbin has thrown for more yards than they rushed for.
Yeah, that was interesting, Dave. I didn't know that, but I don't know if it's ever been done. I'm sure it have. You know, you go back through Corbin football, you think about Clint Cashin, and of course Cade Elam, most recent, threw the ball quite a bit. But we traditionally over the years have not been a team that's thought about throwing it much. But Lincoln throwing the football, what makes them so effective is they're going to set up in the double wing a lot and run some traps back inside, and you get good play action off of that, and that makes them become very dangerous. They're not like Johnson Central, where Johnson Central attempted one pass against us there, and you can line up with the 9 in the box, and that's what we saw against them. We're not going to be able to put 9 in the box against Lincoln. We're going to have to we'll try to play man early, I think, but we can't load up against this quarterback. He's good enough to he can hurt you.
I think Corbin is a unique football team in that, and again, in my mind, I kind of had this picture. I didn't know it until I really looked at the numbers on paper, but this is an incredibly good passing football team. And Mason Salmons, he's starting his 11th football game as a starting quarterback. He is a 98 of 153. He's got 2,087 yards passing, 25 touchdowns against 1 interception. He threw his first pass of the year was intercepted. He's not thrown an interception since then. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx him. But 25 touchdown passes. He also has 325 yards rushing. He is responsible or directly responsible for 31 of Corbin's touchdowns this year. So this kid's having a great year. You mentioned earlier before we even went on air, those were all state numbers.
I think so, and coming into the year, there was always a lot of questions, a lot of scuttle conversations about, what are we going to be, who are we going to be, who do we have, who do we don't have, and we lost a lot of seniors last year, and we replaced them with 10 juniors that are seniors this year. But I think the biggest question was at quarterback. How's our quarterback going to be? He's answered that question. We're very good at quarterback. I think we're extremely good at that position.
Well, what we thought was something that we may have to live with a little bit till he got some experience. Has turned out to be a strength, and it was a strength right from the get-go. We're going to hang on to it right here. It's normally up against a break, but we're going to hold on to it. I think we're going to get a word with Coach Salmons before the game. Aliana is on the sidelines, and so we'll just stay right here. But just to kind of follow up on our thought as far as the stats are concerned, rushing the ball this year, Corbin has rushed it for 1,805 yards. So thrown for 2,087, rushed for 1,805 yards. Cole Stevens has led the way, 113 carries for 806 yards, 11 touchdowns. Cole also has done a very, very nice job receiving the football as well, 25 receptions for 463 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's well over 1,000 yards in total yardage, and leads the team in touchdowns as well. But E-Step is 28 receptions on the year, 593 yards. Cam's had a great year, 7 touchdowns. Zach Thomas, 21 catches, 499 yards, 6 touchdowns. Stevens, as I mentioned, 25 catches, 463 for 463, 3 touchdowns. And Akins, this is an amazing stat, 18 catches, 307 yards, 7 touchdowns. Touched it 18 times. He's got 7 touchdowns, and he's also got 3 touchdowns rushing.
He's a big play guy, and Clay's one of those guys. He can catch it, he can run it, he's got a lot of speed. But what makes him good also, too, is Cam E-Step, Cole Stevens, and some of the guys that came in that were headliners that other teams have to gear themselves to stop. And I think that's the big strength of Corbin's team, is that we have different athletes we go to, because we've mentioned Zach Thomas, Cam E-Step, Cole Stevens, but you also have Trey Persons, Tayton Cox, Lucas Britton. You have a lot of people making plays, and Clay Akins has made some crucial big plays at crucial times. And I think that's the biggest strength that we have as a football team, is we're not one-dimensional. If somebody comes in, they say, we're going to shut this specific player down, we have other players that can make plays.
And, I think that's happened at times. Cam, deservedly so, has gotten a lot of press throughout the year. He's a fantastic athlete, already signed a college baseball scholarship. But a lot of folks come in here, and by the time they shut Cam down for the first quarter, they're down 21-0, because you got other folks that have carried the mail, so to speak. But now this is make no mistake about it. I think if Corbin's going to go far in the playoffs, which starts here tonight, I think Cam's going to have to make a big contribution, just as he has all year long. And I think I really like the way the offenses went recently, brother. They've gotten him the football in a lot of different ways, and the better these other receivers get, the more heat that takes off of Cam.
Well, exactly. But you know where I think Cam's biggest asset's been this year? When they made him make the move to free safety,
Yes.
I think that's made our defense a lot better. He's a field general. He's a return guy, and we know he's a receiver, and he's a guy that can run the jet sweeps and do some of those things. But he's also a guy back there in the secondary. He's very, very smart. He gets people in place. And I think the most positive I've seen move with him this year is moving him to free safety. He's played tremendous all year back in the secondary.
Well, he leads our team in interceptions. He's got three interceptions and a couple fumble recoveries as well. So certainly, you could make do with the Cam on both sides of the ball for sure. But and I don't want to leave out what Coach Salmon says is the heart and soul of this team. And we spoke last week about this, but the offensive and defensive lines, in particular the offensive line, has made a tremendous amount of improvement this year as the years went on. We don't have these kind of rushing stats, these kind of throwing stats without those big guys up front.
When I saw us at Clark County, I was really concerned. We didn't block very well. And one thing Coach Salmons has talked about all year, he's talked about it in our show, he's talked about it when we've seen him in person, is we've got to work to improve and get better. And the biggest improvement I think we've made is on the offensive line. We knew the defensive line was going to be pretty good. Eli's having a great year. Malachi Brown, Josh Goins, and Max Farmer. Those guys were veteran guys that had played and had contributed and made plays before. But the offensive line was a big question. But those guys, Jones and Marlowe, Braxton Tolliver, just to name a few, Seth Jones, I think, is one of them. They've really done a good job and just made a lot of strides, especially in the pass blocking scheme. Now, there's going to come a time we're going to have a drive. And, can we drive block and can we run block against a real tough defense? I think we're going to find that out tonight.
I don't think we might. But again, I just think, and I keep going back in my mind, and as a former coach, former Red Hound fan for years. But listen, I tell you what, I'm going to hold that thought. We're going to go down to Aliana down on the field with Coach Salmons right now. Go ahead, Aliana.
Coach, the competition steps up this week as we get further into the playoffs. What is the mindset of your team right now?
They're excited. They're excited about being at home, but they're just excited about the playoffs like everybody else, and they're excited.
What aspects of Lincoln County's game does your team have to be aware of tonight to be successful?
They're a good football team, and that's why they're here. That's won 9 games. They're a good football team, good line, backs run hard, good quarterback, so they're a good football team.
Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Dave.
All right, thank you very much, Aliana. Again, pretty much what Coach told us last Saturday morning, this is a good team, very solid fundamentally, and a team that's going to be not quite the running style that Johnson Central has, but they're going to rely on the run heavily, and they would love nothing more than to keep that Corbin offense off the field and to hog the ball from us a bit.
Well, I think what makes them dangerous, Dave, they're an excited football team. They're 9-2. That's exciting over at Lincoln County. They don't. They've had good football teams when Crutchfield was there and even on before that, and they played us very, very well at times. But this is an excited football team that believes that they can come in here and win, and that's what really makes them pretty good. I think we've got more athletes, and I think we'll be able to make more plays. I just think they're going to play extremely hard. They're going to get after us, and I'm anxious to see how we respond to that.
Well, 4 running clocks in a row for the Corbin Red Hounds. I think they're certainly due to have a much closer football game tonight. And the further you go along in the playoffs, obviously the competition continues to step up. We're about 16 minutes away from kickoff, I should say, here of the football game. Corbin and Lincoln County both retired back to their locker rooms now to get some last-minute instructions. We're going to pause for a timeout as well, and we'll be back after this short break. Stick around. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Are you looking for reliable electrical supplies? Look no further than Eubanks Electrical Supply. From light bulbs to circuit breakers, we've got everything you need to power up your projects. Our expert staff is ready to help you find the right tools and materials to complete your project. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast or a professional contractor, Eubanks Electrical Supply has you covered with top brands and friendly service. Stop by today in Corbin, Kentucky at 701 South Main Street or in Somerset, Kentucky at 1030 West Columbia Street and discover why Eubanks Electrical Supply has been the trusted name in electrical supply for over 60 years.
Need auto repairs? Then you need Owens Auto Repair. Owens offers a wide variety of parts and services. You'll find all the top name brand batteries and tires to a full line of truck and auto parts. Utility beds, Sherman-Williams auto paint, weather guard toolboxes, custom-made hydraulic hoses, and yes, service work for cars, trucks, and RVs. Whether it's auto repairs or just a battery or new tires, Owens Auto Repair has you covered. Owens Auto Repair, serving you for more than half a century. Located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin.
One sip of tropical lime-flavored Mountain Dew Baja Blast will turn this into this. Your barbecue into a cabana. And your backyard into an island oasis. With a blast of tropical lime flavor, you can bring the beach vibes with you everywhere. Grab some friends and ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Do the Dew.
Ever heard the phrase big enough to serve you, small enough to know you? It's true at Hometown Bank. From the easy-to-use mobile app to online banking and even bill pay, Hometown Bank has everything you need to make banking easier. Whether you need to make a mobile deposit or would rather stop in and see a friendly, smiling face in person, Hometown Bank is here and ready to help. Stop in and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey folks, this is Sammy here at Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. Our big Black Friday sale is going on right now, so if you're looking to save big on sofas, sectionals, love seats, we've even got power rocker recliners with heat and kneading massagers. In fact, the whole store's on sale. And we can't wait, folks. That's why the biggest sale of the year starts right now. So bring a big truck and a little bit of money to Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. We're open 7 days a week from 10 to 6 and on Sundays from 12 to 5. We've got 12 months same as cash financing if you need it, and folks, we deliver. That's Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. Come see us today.
Built to win, born from championship DNA, Honda's 2026 CRF competition lineup is here and engineered to lead. That includes the race-proven CRF 250R and 450R, factory-tuned RWE models, and the Enduro-ready RXs. Whether you're chasing whole shots or single tracks, there's a Honda CRF made to dominate. Visit Tri-County Cycle Sales, 8775 U.S. Highway 25 in Corbin, Kentucky today, and ride red on a Honda built to win. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
Dispatch. I will be stopping a high-speed reckless driver headed from Smoky Bear's Barbecue over to the big Corbin football game.
Officer, proceed with caution. Smoky Bear's is serving up some of the best food in town. They have house-made sauces, rubs, fall-off-the-bone ribs, the best burgers you can find, and ridiculous salads.
You aren't kidding. This place has folks lined up out the door. Send every unit you can before Smoky Bear's runs out of food.
Attention all units requesting backup at Smoky Bear's Barbecue and Catering on American Greeting Card Road.
Enjoy Smoky Bear's Barbecue 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and all your catering needs. Dine in, carry out, order online, and DoorDash.
And Burley Foley with you here field side. About 12 and a half minutes on the clock before we kick off this football game here between Lincoln County and Corbin. I'm watching the field right now. It looks like I have done the same thing I did last week. It's brought us back right about the time we're going to have the national anthem. So we'll just hang on to it here just for a second before they do get started. But the crowd continues to file in here. It's a not quite as large a Lincoln County crowd as I expected, Coach. And the Corbin crowd always late arriving, with the stands on that side at least 3/4 full. But I hope the fans here at Corbin did not assume this was going to be another running clock, because I think we've got a good game on our hands here tonight.
I don't think there was any doubt about this game being going to be a tough game, Dave. Again, I don't think we're realizing Lincoln's been rated above us in the RPI. They've got a better record than us. They've played a good schedule. They've played Boyle. They've played Franklin. I think they played Danville, who's having a good year. Yeah. So, they're excited about football. If we're not excited about football, we could get disappointed tonight. But I think we will be. Coach Sammons does a real good job at getting the kids to play hard. And we just can't make mistakes and play behind the chains. And if we do the things we're supposed to do, we should win the game. But if we don't, we'll be in a dogfight. It's
going to be interesting. I don't know that there's many teams out there in the state that can score like Corbin can from so many different positions. And I've been watching Corbin football for a long time. There's a lot of weapons on this field. I mean, you got two or three great running backs, but you can go 6 deep wide receivers. We got 2 tight ends we've not used yet, and I still think we're going to use them before the year's over with. And you got a quarterback playing really well. But at any rate, we will soon know exactly how all those questions are going to be answered, because we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to pause right now for a timeout as the presenting the colors right now and just getting set for the national anthem. So we'll be right back. Stick around. You're listening to Red Out Football on T107. All right. Yeah, they're still doing something. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. You?
It's a ROTC outfit.
Perfect.
Lincoln crowd getting a little thicker now.
Back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you here. Still about 6.5 minutes on the clock. The captains are coming out for both teams now to meet with the officials and toss the coin here and see who's going to take the football first. I tell you what, Coach, we talk about this a lot, but I'm going to mention it again. If I'm Corbin and I win this toss, I want that football first. I think our strength of this team is offense, and you're playing at home. You take it down and mash one in early. I think that makes a big difference.
Well, weather's actually perfect for high school football. It's I mean, the temperature couldn't be any better. It's a little cool too if you're a fan, but not really. I look out in the crowd, see a lot of people in sweatshirts and even some just in just regular shirts. So just a great night to play football and really two good teams. It's exciting that it's this time of year. As we've talked prior to getting on the air, Dave, there's a lot of games going on all over the state, and this is when it starts to really starts to count now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We'll get to those in a few minutes. We don't have a lot of time right now, but I think that from my standpoint, I've like you watched Lincoln all year long, and I've been a little bit, and I don't understand the RPI as much as I should, and we've ranted on this before, and I'm not going to get off on that tangent right now. But what I don't understand is, at the beginning of the year, how do you get those initial rankings? Because it seems like it's almost like a car race on a one lane road. Whoever gets ahead kind of stays ahead. You have to do something to get off the side. But how do you decide who gets ahead? I mean, I understand Boyle, you understand all those other kind of things, but we've got Logan County, you've got Lincoln, and you had for a good part of the year Taylor County, who kind of spit the bit down the road too, who are all ranked above Corbin, and that RPI is very important because that dictates where you play in relation to being at home or on the road a lot. So I just don't understand that part of it. We understand who plays who and everybody where they go now, but again, I'm just not sure that's the best way.
Well, for tonight's games, it's set. This
right.
Lincoln was going to come here irregardless, but
That's
now
right.
next week that changes everything depending on where you were because of your RPI. Because to me, I think Cup Cass should have had a home game if you just look at it, for who they played and who they are and what their reputation is. But they don't. They're on the road to Johnson County. But those games are set. The RPI, there's human error in it. There has to be because for the most part, they get it somewhat right. But last year, I'll go back to the Paducah-Tillman sending us all the way across the state. I thought that was
see here. I mean, interrupt there, but that's what we learned last week. And like next week, it is based on RPI, but it's based on RPI by East and West. So we'll stay in the East next year, which we did last year, and then we're going to go. Then you end up going across the state. So really, I don't. But I guess my point is this: is if it is Corbin and Paducah-Tillman, we play no common opponents. We don't even scrimmage one. So what's the barometer? It's not like the NFL or NCAA where you're playing 30 games and you're being seen by multiple people. It's just kind of an odd thing to me. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I'm agreeing with you. I don't know how they do it. And, we'll be able to – well, actually, it was on last night. College football is having a little bit of the same issue. How do you determine – it seems like it's always that 5th and 6th spot. And in high school, it's probably going to boil down to somebody's going to get a little bit of a shaft regardless of what you do. And I don't think they're doing it on purpose or to shade anybody. But it's just it doesn't work out that way. I liked it when it was alternating years and they said, well, maybe the best team don't go. Well, yeah, the best team does go because at the end you have to beat whoever's there. And how can you not be the best team if you're worried about losing till you get there? So that's my argument with that.
That's exactly my point, and I think that's a very good point. And I think this is an interesting time of the year, obviously, but you just want the regular season to mean something, as opposed to somebody carrying their tradition with them. Now, Corbin's probably got a break or two down, as far as that's concerned from time to time. But it just doesn't seem like the last couple of years that the seeding actually reflected the quality of what the teams did. But at any rate, this was a lot game, so we're not complaining about tonight at all, nor even next week when it's on the East. But when they start reseeding these things at the beginning of next year, it would be nice if they just took a little bit of a look as to what traditionally happens, I guess. But
one last thing, if I could, Dave, what I think it's going to determine is your preseason schedule. Why would you schedule teams that could beat you if you know that's going to hurt you in the RPI and put you on the road across the state?
Well, what it does is it prevents it does not encourage you to play teams out of your
class.
In your area. For example, if let's say Corbin and Lincoln in basketball had a really good rivalry going on, and that was the kind of thing. Well, you get penalized for playing teams below your class, but you can go play a team above your class. From my understanding, even though they're not having a stellar year, just like with the Great Crossings game, we actually gain points by playing a 6A team.
Correct.
But at any rate, it's that's a conversation for another day. And then certainly there's a lot of people know more about it than I do. I probably know just enough to be confusing or to sound like a malcontent. However, it does not seem to me that the playoffs shake out exactly the way they should every year as far as where teams go. But tonight, we know what we've got in front of us. We've got a good Lincoln County team, 9-2 on the season. 2 losses on the year only for Lincoln County, to Franklin County 35-13 and to Boyle County 48-7. Corbin's lost 3 times this year. They've lost to Frederick Douglass, who is number 4 in 6A. They lost to Pulaski County, who's now number 1 based on RPI in 5A, and then lost to Johnson Central, who's number 2 in 4A. So quality losses across the board for both these two teams. Coach, they have not. Nobody has lost a game that they're really just should not have completely. Number 16, Brody Baker, the kicker for Lincoln County. Wayne won the. I'll get it right in a minute. Lincoln County won the toss, and they're going to defer the second half. Baker approaches. It's an onside kick. It's rolling. Corbin's going to field it. Nice job that time by the Red Hounds. It's picked up there by number 3 for Corbin. That was Landon
Jackson Marlowe.
Jackson Marlowe, excuse me. And he falls on it at about the 49-yard line. So a little trickery to begin the game by Lincoln County with the onside kick, and Marlowe on his toes falls on it. Corbin's got it first and 10 at the 49.
I don't like the message you send your team there. You defer and don't take the ball, and then you try to onside and don't get it. What kind of message are you sending to your team about being competitive?
Yeah, it's almost like we got to trick them. We can't beat them up front. We'll see what happens, but Corbin gets to open up on offense with really good field position. Salmon's wideouts, 2 wideouts to both sides. He sends Stevens out in the left flat. He makes the catch, starts up the left sideline, lowers his head, runs over a defender at the 45, gets down to about the 43-yard line, gain of about 8 on the play.
Up front for the Red Hounds, Gavin Hinkle, Seth Jones, Jonathan Miller, Braxton Tolliver, and Max Farmer are the 5 up front for us, Dave.
Yeah, set those 2, Corbin right back at the line, ready to go quickly. And here's the fake up the middle. Sam is going to keep. He's got some room up the left side. He's going to slide down at about the 35-yard line. We'll pick up the first down easily. And Corbin, 2 big plays to begin their drive here.
At zone read, we've seen that a lot this year. Saw it a lot early, and we were getting stuffed some, but it's starting to be more effective, and Cole's really made a lot of yards with that
the first time,
most of the year.
First time I remember Cole pulling it back out on the first play. Salmon's back to pass. He's being chased out of the pocket, runs to his left. He's going to turn it up himself. He's going to run. He's got some room. He's up the left side. He's down inside the 30, fights forward. He's going to be hit and knocked down right near the 30-yard line, a gain of about 5 on the play. Tell you what, it's pretty tough to get to him in back there, Coach.
Yeah, he's got great feet. He's not a burner, but he anticipates as good as a quarterbacks we've had in a while, and he just has a good feel. He knows how to play the position.
Corbin playing tempo now, right back at the line. Salmon's fumbles. The ball's loose on the ground. Big pile up there. It looks like Lincoln County may have got it, and it is going to be a Lincoln County football. Salmon's took it and was going to that dive play up the middle that he runs with the running back, bounced off his knee, and Corbin turns it over. Lincoln County football. That's the one thing that you can't factor into a game like this.
Anytime, every game that you play a little deeper in the playoffs, that becomes a bigger deal, is turning it over. And anytime you're running a read play, you risk that. Any type of zone read where there's a decision to be made, you're risking turning it over.
Yeah, I don't think that Mason had a good handle on that ball from the snap. It looked like it was misjudged a little bit. So Lincoln County with it, handoff straight up the gut, no room to run. He's going to be hit and hammered. That was Damon Spiegel, the fullback. He's going to be hit and dropped after a loss of about 2 on the play.
Eli Petrosky, Josh Goins. Eli's really having a good senior year.
Yeah, I tell you what, he looks the part.
Hey, we're big across the front line. Eli, Malachi Brown, Farmer, and Goins. Goins is shortest at 6'1", Brown the tallest at 6'5".
When they throw the ball, they like to throw it to Bryce Floyd. He's number 7. He's got 52 catches on the year, 652 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's split wide to the left side here. He is matched up with Zach Thomas. That's a pretty good matchup of 2 good athletes right there. The quarterback, Foster, takes it. It's going to keep it himself. Tries the right side. He's hitting stacked up. No gain on the play. Maybe a half a yard. Getting back close to the original line of scrimmage. We'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Corbin with the 4-4 look. Got 8 in the box. You want to try to play a man with 3 deep. The corners are Thomas and also Lucas Britton. Cam Eastep, he's the free safety. He's been there all year and played good. As you said, Dave said 3 interception. He's the field general back there.
Interesting here. Normally the quarterback runs over and gets the play call from the coach. They're letting the wideout on this side, which is number 7, Bryce Floyd, run the plays in and out. 3 wideouts to the left now for Lincoln County. Foster working out of the shotgun, one back to his left. Foster back to throw. He's got some time. He's going to be chased out of the pocket, turns it up. He's going to try to run for it up the right sideline, backs out over the 40-yard line. He's going to be really close to the first down. And the Corbin did not do a good job at all of containing on that left side. They had pressure on him in the backfield, chased him out of the pocket, and let him pick up the first down.
Well, the pressure came from the middle with Goins and Brown, and then he got outside, and our outside linebacker, his responsibility is you don't have to make the tackle, but you got to turn him in to where the other 10 are, and we didn't do that.
Well, he made a nice move getting away from the initial pressure, and then broke for the short side of the field and found some running room. 1st and 10 for Lincoln County from their own 42. Foster leads straight up the gut with Spiegel, and he's going to be hit and dropped after a gain of about 2.
Those 4 linebackers are Tatum Cox, Persons, also Silas Mahan, and Malachi Zachary, who was injured earlier. We'll also see Marlowe, who recovered the kick in there earlier on the first kickoff.
No score as of yet. Corbin turned it over, had a nice drive going, picked up 3 first downs, had it at the 30-yard line, and fumbled the football, giving it back to Lincoln County. 2nd and 8 now for the Patriots, working from their own 44. Foster back to throw, dumps it off underneath, got his tight end. He makes the catch at the 50. He's got some room, cuts it up against the grain. He's going to be hit and bumped down into Corbin territory at about the 40-yard line. That's a nice toss that time. They get it up to Clay Pendergraft, the tight end. He's got 19 catches on the year, 220 yards, so none bigger than that one. And the Patriots move into Corbin territory at the 41.
If you're going to throw the ball on Corbin in that 4-4 look, we're trying to man up outside with our 2 corners and our safety. You have that out pattern there. The backer's already inside you. If you can get outside of him, that's going to hurt you some, and that's what happened then. The receiver just got his shoulders on the outside of our linebacker.
1st and 10 for Lincoln, working from the Corbin 41-yard line. Foster takes it, going to keep it himself, runs into his own man in the backfield. Going to be piled up and mashed back down at about the 43-yard line. A host of red downs in there, Goins in there, as well as Petrosky.
That front four's playing really well for Corbin. Brown, Petrosky, Farmer.
2nd down and 12. Corbin had been 3rd and long a minute ago and let the quarterback scramble out of there. He actually ran backwards for about 5 yards to pick up the first down.
Just early on, it seems like we're a little quicker than what they are. But I'll tell you what, they're pretty patient with their offense. They get in that double wing a lot, and they take what they have. A minute ago, they ran our backs off and went with a little out that they had on the outside.
Levi Rogers, the head coach here at Lincoln County. Foster takes it, leads it off. Second back through that is going to be 34, Damon Spiegel again. He's the leading ground gainer on the year for Lincoln County. Over 600 yards rushing. Not much there, though. He's maybe even lost a yard. So 3rd and 12 again. Let's see if the Hounds can get off the field here. Maybe 4 down territory for Lincoln, depending on what they do on this down here.
Corbin shuffling a lot of people in and out. That was Tyson Blaylock on the stop. Tyson Sr., he's played a lot inside. Hasn't started any games, but he's been what I would consider a starter on that front line. He plays a tremendous amount.
All right, big play here. 3rd down and 12 for Lincoln County. Back to pass is the quarterback. Foster steps, fires long down the middle of the field. He's got a receiver out there, but overthrows him badly. He was well covered back there. 2 Red Hounds in on the play defensively. Cam Eastep and looked like Zach Thomas as well.
Got an early score from Johnson Central here, Dave. Johnson Central 14-0, 9 minutes to go in the second.
Well, that's that's not a surprise to some people. It is to me a bit. I kind of thought Kev Cath was going to be a little more competitive than that. And then still a lot of football. Still a lot of football game left. Looks like Lincoln County is going to go for it here. 4th down and 12 from the Corbin 43. Maybe try to draw Corbin off and then go for it. Foster takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to be chased out of the pocket there after him now, and he's got some room to run. Going to be tracked down at about the 40-yard line and hammered down over there right in front of the Corbin bench. That is Malachi Zachary with the tackle at the 40, and Corbin will get the football back.
Good open field tackle by Malachi. That time the pressure came in the middle. And we forced him outside, which is a natural thing for a high school quarterback to do, is try to get outside. And Malachi stayed at home, slow played that, and came up with a big play.
Okay, Corbin had a good drive here to begin the football game. Maybe they can punch it in down there once more here and get another shot at it. 6:28 to go in the first quarter. I'm getting a ton of text here. I apologize, folks. I'm going to turn this telephone off here. Pass underneath, complete out there to Cole Stevens. He's into the secondary. He's got one man to beat. He's at the 40, 30, breaks a tackle, still on his feet. He's going to take this one to the house, and no flags, touchdown, 60-yard run, and most of that done by Cole Stevens, coach. A little pass out in the flat, and Stevens broke 3 tackles, took it right down the middle of the field. Corbin quickly back on the board.
Flare to the right side. Cole had the sideline, but he realized he couldn't outrun run him because they had the angle on him. Made 2 really, really good cuts, and I think that's his strength is his ability to cut back against the grain, and made a spectacular catch, run, and cut for the Red Hound touchdown.
Sebastian Witherington on to attempt the extra point. Almost perfect on the year, 42 of 45. Corbin on top 6-0, 6:14 to go. Other than the fumble, Corbin's averaging about 20 yards of play. Or probably more than that, actually. Witherington's kick is long and strong right down the middle. So Corbin on top 7-0, 6:14 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break, and we'll be back to Campbell Field. Stick around. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Dispatch. I will be stopping a high-speed reckless driver en route from Smoky Bear's barbecue to the Big Corbin ball game.
Officer, proceed with caution. Smoky Bears is serving up some of the best food in town. They have house-made sauces, rubs, fall-off-the-bone ribs, catfish, and ridiculous salads.
You weren't kidding. This place has folks lined up out the door. Send every unit you can before Smoky Bears runs out of food.
Attention all units requesting backup at Smoky Bears Barbecue and Catering on American Greeting Card Road.
Enjoy Smoky Bears Barbecue 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and all your catering needs. Dine in, carry out, order online, and DoorDash.
Corbin on top 7-0, 6:14 to go here in the first quarter of play. Hounds really should be up 14-0. They were moving and looked like they kind of had the Patriots on their heels that first drive, and the turnover gave it back to Lincoln County. A couple nice first downs for Lincoln, and then Corbin defense stepped up, got the football back, and scored on the very first play. A 60-yard pass to Cole Stevens. And Cole did most of the heavy lifting on that one himself. Witherington's kick is a short end-over-end kick angled towards the left corner. Taken by an up back there. He's going to be hit and dropped at about the 31-yard line where he's driven out of bounds now. And little extracurricular activity there by Corbin. They probably need to be careful about that because that was probably pretty close. You don't do that, Coach, on the opposing team sideline.
No. If you're going to do that, let that be out in the middle of the field or over where your buddies are.
Yeah, the official's not near as prone to throw that over there around all those around those other coaches. But that time, that I won't say late hit, but a semi-late hit occurred right on the Lincoln County sideline. But no flags. 1st and 10 for the Patriots working from their own 30-yard line.
Good coverage by Jack Jackson. He's been one of the mainstays on special teams all year.
Well, he does not mind putting his nose in there, does he?
No, sir.
Wideouts to the right.
Nor did his father.
Yeah, right. Wideouts to the right side. That's number 7, Bryce Floyd. He's their wide receiver of preference. Back to throw is Tucker. He's chased out of the pocket. He's going to be hit and hammered down all the way back at the 34-yard line. That's big number 0 there. Malachi Brown tracked him down. You're not going to outrun him. He is as fast as a tailback.
Well, it came out this week. He's been rated as a 4-star player, and there's why. The kid can move. He's 6'5". He's long. He has a very long reach. He's young, and as you've seen his lateral movement, that 6'5", 270 kids typically can't move like that, but he can.
He chased the quarterback down, and the quarterback had a little bit of a head of steam and about a 3-yard jump on him, and Malachi ran him down from behind. 2nd and 14 now. Lincoln County working from their 26, 5:20 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Corbin lead. 2 wideouts to the left side. That's the short side of the field. Back set in an eye. Now they motion the back into the backfield along with the quarterback. At a quick timeout taken here by Lincoln County sideline. We'll just hold on to it right here. Corbin on top 7-0. A lot of good football going on throughout the state. We'll have a chance to talk about that at halftime. Burley said you got a score on Johnson Central, 14-0. Johnson Central over Covcath. That kind of surprised me. And it may still yet be a really good football game, but I kind of thought Covcath may have a chance.
Well, if you'll remember, that was kind of how it started with us. They came out and scored early, and then we fought back. Johnson doesn't play play the pass extremely well, so I still give Covcath a shot here. My brother Wendell Foley's back in the studios getting those scores into us. He'll try to get as many of them as he can. Some other games, Pulaski, South Laurel playing tonight. That's a pretty interesting game as well.
Well, you know, the significance of the Covcat game, though, for us is that if Covington Catholic wins and Corbin wins, then Corbin go to Highlands. Otherwise, they go to Bell. Back at the line, Foster working out of the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. He dumps it off middle screen. Is going to be caught by the tight end, then dropped immediately. Ball's loose on the ground and recovered by Corbin. Malachi Brown right on top of that. Petrosky, I think, jarred that one loose. The Hounds with the big turnover, and the Red Hounds going to get the football back in fine position right here.
Yeah, it was a screen pass, and Eli played that perfect. He really did. He scored a touchdown earlier on one of those this year.
He caught a 2-yard pass.
I'd say them Big Mitts was getting pretty excited about maybe getting his second one, but he couldn't have played that any better.
Well, again, Brown trailing the play. Brown was actually putting the pressure on the quarterback and followed the play up the field when the quarterback passed it, and was Johnny on the spot to fall on the fumble. 1st and 10 for Corbin from the 30-yard line of Lincoln County. Salmon's working out of the shotgun. He's back there about 90% of the time. He'll occasionally move under center. Jet sweep now to Akins around the left side. He's got some blockers out front. Cuts it up. He is into the secondary, and it's going to be called back. A touchdown, Corbin, but the flags come in from everywhere. The back judge saw something he did not like. But let me tell you something. When Akins touches the football, he's headed to the goal line.
He's electric. He really is. That's the best way I can describe him. The kid has a lot of speed. He has good vision for the field. And it's unfortunate that got called back. That was a little bit of a delay to hold on that one, but we're going to take his word for it.
Well, where it happened down the field just a bit, so it's not going to be 1st and 20. It's going to be 1st and about 17. So he was 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage wherever the hold happened at. And that, a bit unfortunate. Corbin right now just manhandling them up front, Coach. This offensive line has gotten better and better and better, and right now it is the strength of this Corbin team. 2 wide outs to the left side. They run the same play to the right side. This time to E-step. He's prodding the defense, cuts it up at about the 30-yard line where he's hit and hammered down after a gain of about 6. He just about got most of the penalty back there. This will bring up 2nd down and about 11.
Good patient run by Cam. Not a lot out in that area for Cam, but he did a good job picking up what he could.
I'll tell you, sometime this year he's going to throw out of that. He's going to throw out of that set.
I don't think there's any question.
Cam's going to pull up and fire one to somebody, maybe even a tight end across the middle. Who knows? Salmon's back to throw, trying to set up the screen. They read it well. He's going to run it himself. Turns up the right side. He just slides down at the 25-yard line. He's going to be shy of the 1st down. Corbin probably in 4-down territory, but they'll be having 3rd down and probably about 6 coming up here. Clock moving, 3:50 to go in the 1st quarter. Corbin on top 7-0.
Lincoln played that pretty nicely.
I saw Coach. I saw the defensive end instead of coming up, turned and had his back to the quarterback, running back, trying to catch up with the Corbin receiver. So that was a great defensive play by Lincoln.
Well, when you talk about the offensive line, a lot of our patterns, we don't throw the ball shallow a lot. We'll throw it to Cole some for some screens and some flares, but we like to turn that thing loose. And as an offensive lineman, that means you got to hold your guy a little longer. So makes it a little bit difficult.
2 tight ends. Person set right in behind the quarterback. Salmon's under center. They give it off on the jet sweep to E-step again. He starts around the left side. He's got some room. Turns the corner. Lowers his head. He's got the 1st down easily inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. No flags on the play. The Lincoln County sideline going nuts. I think they thought maybe Corbin jumped a little bit early, but no flag on the play. And E-step just about took that one to the house.
Great block out front by Trey Persons. That was a student body left.
That was a vicious block.
The old timers like to call it, where we just had both backs and the quarterback out in the pattern, and Trey picked up a really good block that helped Cam for a big gainer.
Same set this time. Person about 2 yards, sitting right behind the quarterback. Now they bring Stevens in motion. They're going to hand it off to Persons on a quick hitter, and he's hit and snacked up immediately. No gain on the play. May have fallen forward for a half a yard, so it will be 2nd down and goal from about the 7.5. You know, one thing, Coach, I don't know this, but I would suspect that Boyle County is here tonight scouting. Boyle played last night. They won easily, so the only playoff game on Thursday night, which gives them a bit of an advantage in getting scouted.
Oh, I would think they would be here. I don't know why they wouldn't be. And they won that game over Wayne County, I think 42-0, 42-7 maybe.
Sammons turns, leaves it off with Stevens, bounces it outside. He angles for the goal line, steps in just inside the pylon. Touchdown, Corbin. Stevens. his second touchdown of the game. And that's a nice run that time. Cole took it, and they spread that thing out pretty good. He jab stepped in. The defense bit on the fake, and he just took it right to the pylon.
Our speed is pretty good. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame, and we saw it there with Cole. Not a lot in the middle. Cole was able to bounce that thing outside and outrun people, and that's what we can do pretty well is we can outrun people. We got 4 or 5 backs that can outrun people.
Witherington on to attempt the extra point. Snaps a good one. Sammons gets it down. Low line drive kick is going to be good. Scraped right off the top, almost off the top of the crossbar. But Sebastian hammers it through. Corbin on top 14-0. 2:21 to go in the first quarter play. We'll take a timeout, then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Red Hunt Football on T107.
When work needs doing or the trail calls, you need a machine that's ready for both. That's Honda's line of Pioneer side-by-sides. Choose the Compact 520, the powerful 700 series, or go big with the 1000 line. Built for 3, 5, or 6. Visit Tri-County Cycle Sales, 8775 U.S. Highway 25 in Corbin, Kentucky today, and find your perfect Honda Pioneer side-by-side. For your safety, read the owner's manual and wear a helmet and eye protection. Always wear your seatbelt and close the side nets and doors when operating. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
All right, back at Campbell Field, 14-0 Corbin on top. Coach, you had an interesting update from the Johnson Central Cub-Cath game.
Well, we talked about Cub-Cath being a quality team and the game still having a lot of time. They now lead 21-14 over Johnson Central.
Well, you know, we thought it'd be a good game, and it is. Witherington with the kickoff. It's a high end over end kick, taking the 20 on the run by, and up back is going to be hit and dropped immediately after crossing the 25, about the 28-yard line. Did not pick up the number there, but may have been Spiegel. It's the first down and 10 there for, Lincoln County. 2:17 to go in the first quarter. Corbin on top 14-0. Up to this point, Coach, they have no answer, Lincoln that is, for Corbin's offense. We've moved the ball at will.
We just seem like we're a step and a half quicker than what Lincoln is, and I kind of expected that. I thought they would be a little more physical moving the football than they've been to this point, but, I mean, we just pointed it out. Johnson Central was ahead of Cub-Cath 14-0. Now it's 21-14.
Well, you know, if you remember, you made the point that game that Corbin started out that way, and then as the game went on, Corbin kind of got their mojo a little bit and wore them down a bit, I believe. Some big old kids on that line up there, let me tell you. Foster working out of the empty backfield, takes the snap, is going to run it himself, starts up the left side, breaks a tackle. He's into the secondary at the 40, up the right sideline. He's going to be tracked down from behind at about the 50-yard line. Good run that time by the quarterback, Tucker Foster. He's the second leading rusher on the year for Lincoln County. Gained that time of about 22.
Well, they ran right at Malachi Brown. What they do is they take that wing and the tackle over there and they double him, and they got him down inside, and then the backers got to come up and make that play, the outside backer, and miss the tackle. And we're lucky they didn't score on that play.
Well, that has been their offense tonight. The quarterback has got 2 nice runs, one for a first down on third to about 12, and then that one for about 22, 23 yards. Foster working out the shotgun, one back to his right, 2 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to fake, nope, gives it off to the first back through, breaks a couple tackles. Poor tackling by Corbin that time. He ran through 2 arm tackles at the line of scrimmage and takes it all the way down to the 30-yard line. Another first down for Lincoln County.
Yeah, we had people to make the play, but we didn't make the play, and we're seeing a little bit of a substitution, I think, for that reason. When you get shots on these big backs, you got to get them on the ground, because you start letting them, as they and they talk about in the horse industry, when you start letting them get lathered up, they're hard to handle.
Well, the other thing is, you know, you're not going to tackle those kids at their shoulder pads.
Mm-mm.
That's what Eastep does such a good job of. You know, you take their legs out from under them. We try to hit those kids high, and they're big, strong kids as well. So 1st and 10 for Lincoln County, working from their own 33. Will be under a minute left in the first quarter by the time this play takes off. Foster takes it, looks to throw. Pump fake's going to keep himself, runs right into the arms of Malachi Brown. He slings him down like a rag doll at about the 40-yard line, loss of 7.
Yeah,
wow.
I think he was a little upset about the play before when they ran at him, and he said no more. He's just a special athlete, this kid is. And,
that's about as much emotion as I've seen him show. He doesn't get too fired up.
It's time of year to get fired up, though.
Yeah.
Aiken's also in on that play. Aiken's playing one of those outside linebackers. He's in for Tatum Cox.
I'm going to tell you what, you would struggle on the line, but if you had 11 Clay Aikens on your team, you can win some games.
Yeah.
He can do anything. He returns punts, returns kickoffs, tailback, defensive back. He can do it all. My guess is he can probably pop a little popcorn as well.
He's fast.
2nd and 17. Foster back to throw. Here comes Petrosky's after him. Throws it up for grabs. Going to be caught out there. Nice toss that time by the quarterback all the way down to about the Corbin 22-yard line. That ball was in the air forever. Cash Smith with the reception. And the first down now for Lincoln County. But I thought Eli was going to get to him, Coach. He was a one arm's length away.
That's a good play for Lincoln. They're going trips to the left, and then we're manning up. And then the back is releasing out of the backfield. The linebacker's already inside of him, so he's open as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage. We'll have to make an adjustment, or that play will hurt us.
Yeah, that's a slow developing play, and you would hope to get to the quarterback before he can let that thing go. We kind of threw that one up for grabs, but it was on target. So a good throw by Foster, the quarterback. 1st and 10 for Lincoln from the Corbin 21. Foster's going to keep it himself, starts out the right side. The Corbin does a good job of stringing the play out, and he's going to be snacked up at the 20, may have made the 19. Should bring up 2nd down at about 8 for Lincoln County, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. Corbin leads after 1, 14-0. Hounds on top. We'll break and then come back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Red Hunt Football on T107.
Ready to start the fun? Honda CRF Trail Bike lineup is built for riders of all ages and sizes. Start small with the beginner-friendly CRF 50F, step up to the electric start 110F, or go bigger with the CRF 125F, available in standard and big wheel versions. They're rugged, reliable, and built for off-road fun. Visit Tri-County Cycle Sales, 8775 U.S. Highway 25 in Corbin, Kentucky today, and get the whole family riding with Honda CRF trail bikes. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda off-road bikes are recommended for riders of appropriate age and skill level.
Hey folks, this is Sammy here at Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. I want to answer 2 quick questions for you. Number 1, no, this is not AI. This is as good as I'm ever going to sound. And number 2, yes, our Black Friday sale has started. And this Black Friday is going to be a big one. The Tempur-Pedics, the Sealeys, the Stearns & Fosters, folks, they're all on sale, and this is the best prices I've seen on these mattresses all year long. That's Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. We're open 7 days a week from 10 to 6, on Sundays from 12 to 5. We've got 12 months, same as cash financing if you need it, and folks, we deliver. That's Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. Come see us today.
I want to see if we're able to if we can have a big stand, because they're moving the ball on us right now.
Yeah, that's a fluke pass right there, though.
You see what I'm talking about?
All right, back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you here. 14-0 Corbin on top, but Lincoln County is threatening here, 2nd down and 9, working from the Corbin 20. Foster working out the shotguns, got the back Spiegel to his left, wide outs to both sides. Here comes the blitz. He dumps it off underneath. Got Spiegel in the flat, one man to beat. He's going to be hit and cut down. What a nice tackle. A wide open lane there coming up the left side. And E-Step comes up and makes a beautiful tackle, cuts his legs out from under him.
Looked like he had room, and again, they're trying to attack us in the flat because they can't handle us up front because our 4 is quicker than their 5. So what they're doing is they're trying to get that back out in the flat and get him one-on-one, and that's what happened. But Cam made the play and got him on the ground.
It should have came up just a little bit, too. He got up, and he's still stretching out a little bit in the defensive backfield. Hopefully that's nothing serious. But he is a huge part of this Corbin team on both sides of the football, and he's underestimated how good a defender he is.
Yeah, I think that's his biggest asset this year. He's a great offensive player, but, boy, he's played well on defense.
Big play here, 3rd down and 8. Foster looks to throw, ball fakes, fires across the middle. His man makes the catch right in front of the Corbin defender, wrestles down at the 5-yard line. That was just a case of the wide receiver wanting the football worse than the Corbin defensive back, just wrestled away from him at the 5-yard line. Nice catch that time by number 5, Johnny Atkins.
We were there to make the play, but you got to be the stronger, more determined guy, and they won that wrestling match. We
got to make a decision. You're either going to lay back and pop that guy and try to knock that ball loose, or you're going to go ahead and cut in front and make the play. But you can't. You got to do one or the other. So 1st and goal now for Lincoln County from Corbin's 5. Corbin leads at 14-0. Hand off left side is going to go nowhere for Lincoln County. He lost about 4. Did I see a flag come down on top of the play there? Number 22 was the ball carrier there. That was Cash Smith. Loss on the play of about 4.
Thomas on a corner blitz makes a play. A little bit of a mismatch in size, but we've talked about this, and this is what Cam does so good on them big guys. You can't live. If you're 165, 170 pounds, you can't get them up shoulder pads. You got to get them down around the ankles.
Well, Cam's fundamentally sound in about everything he does.
Now, if you're Eli and Malachi Brown, you can, But them guys back there in the secondary, they need to get down there.
Yeah, those guys are big-time wrestlers, though.
Yeah.
Second down and 9. Big play here, I think, for the Corbin defense. They can hold their ground here. Back to throw goes the quarterback. Tucker dumps it off underneath. Got a man out there. The catch is made. It's hammered down after a gain of about 2. That's a nice play by Thomas again, I believe. And that was their leading receiver out there. Bryce Floyd made the catch, but he was stumbling backwards. And Boyce Thomas stuck him right in the back. So third down and now at about 9.
We're bringing our outside linebacker off the corner like a corner blitz, and in some sets he would become a corner. And as soon as the quarterback sees him blitz, the blockers release into the flat, and it's been a pretty good play for him on this drive.
I didn't see a penalty, but I do see the flag now.
Yeah, I don't know what that would have been. It looks like Lincoln maybe.
Must be a hold on Lincoln. They're backing up, so Corbin's going to go ahead and push them back 10 yards. As they step this off, it's going to take it back to about the 20. So it'll remain second down, but it's going to be second down now and a long way to go. Second goal, actually, from about the 19-yard line. Terry Joe Martin up here in the booth with us tonight, and he spotted that flag immediately. I did not see it.
I can just barely see the referee, much less the flag.
Second down in 19. Got to guard number 70 for Corbin right here. He is their receiver of choice. Back to pass is Foster. He's hit and dumps under. Almost intercepted. He was hit as he let it go. That one hit a Corbin linebacker there. I believe that was Mahan right in the numbers, but he was falling down as he would have been a spectacular catch, but he had a shot.
Eli putting pressure on. Eli's just a mismatch for them up front. He's just so athletic. And one thing I like Corbin's doing, they brought Hatfield in to play the outside, and they've got Eli down inside now. And that even creates more of a mismatch when you get down in there on some of the big guys, because he's just so quick and so athletic. And as you saw there, he was able to force a bad play by Lincoln.
9:39 to go in the first half of play. 14-0 Corbin lead, third down and goal from the 19 after a holding penalty for Lincoln County. I wouldn't have called them Wayne County all night. I've just about said it 2 or 3 times. Their uniforms mirror Wayne County. Tucker, the quarterback, back to throw. Looking to his left, fires across the middle. He's got a man down there. Intercepted. Steps right in front of him. He's headed up the right sideline. He's got some room. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. Still on his feet. Cuts it back against the green. Reverses his field. He may take this all the way. He is wide open. Going to take it into the end zone. No flags anywhere that I can see. That's a 100-yard touch. That may be a 98-yard touchdown interception return. My goodness.
Well, we talked about how intelligent Cam is, and he does one of his playing styles, I guess, is, for lack of a better definition, is he baits receivers. That receiver looked open, but Cam laid back and caught that thing on the run, kind of like he does punts, and took it the distance for a touchdown.
Well, he danced his way into the last 20 yards. He made a cut back at the 30-yard line on the far side of the field in front of the Corbin bench and left 2 guys in their cleats. So Witherington on to 10th extra point. What a turnaround. It looked like it's going to be a 7-point game possibly. Now it's going to be a 21 if Witherington can convert here. Salmon's the holder. Snap on the way. Witherington steps into his blocked. Looked like that may have been a low kick that time, Coach. There was no penetration that I saw. They blocked that one from the line. So Corbin on top 20-0. 9:19 to go in the first half. We'll break and then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Red On Football on T107.
Ever heard the phrase big enough to serve you, small enough to know you? It's true at Hometown Bank. From the easy-to-use mobile app to online banking and even bill pay, Hometown Bank has everything you need to make banking easier. Whether you need to make a mobile deposit or would rather stop in and see a friendly, smiling face in person, Hometown Bank is here and ready to help. Stop in and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you here, field side. Boy, what a turnaround, Coach. It looked like it was potentially, first and goal from the 5-yard line for Wayne County. Ended up getting a couple losses, then a penalty, then an interception for a 98-yard interception return for a touchdown by Cam Estep. So instead of 14-7, it's 20-0.
Play like that can change the whole complexion of the game. You're convinced that you're going to get back in the game at maybe 14-7, then you look up and it's 20-7 or 20-0.
Witherington set to kick it away. Short kick, angled towards the right sideline. It's going to be taken by up back at the 29, hit and cut down immediately. Corbin, again, and you've explained that very well this whole year, Coach. They're kicking that short, kind of I don't want to call it a pooch kick, but it's a high end over end kick to one side or the other, and they're just kind of bending their line, and they're hurting everybody towards that sideline, using the sideline as a defender, and we're able to get a bunch of bodies around the football early.
Well, you're seeing this in the NFL some after they change the kickoff, where they try to get this thing to one corner and then squeeze. They're wanting to play half the field instead of the entire field, and Withington's doing a good job being able to do that. Corbin with a couple of new defensive ends in now, Hatfield, and also kids getting some time, Dalton Henderson on defense nowadays.
Foster, the quarterback, wide outs to both sides, back to his left is Spiegel. Foster's going to keep it himself, looks to throw it. He's going to be hit and hammered. They meet at about the 25-yard, 15-yard line, 3 Red Hounds in on that sack. And I believe Goins was the first Red Hound there.
Goins, Marlowe, and also Henderson. You know what I like about that? 2 sophomores and a freshman.
Yeah, 2 fresh kids in the game, though, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's another strength that Corbin's been able to do and develop over time. You know, early on we weren't playing some of these kids, but as the years went on, they've gotten better, which is Coach Salmons' battle cry every week, and now we're starting to build some depth. Blaylock gives us some minutes. Hatfield gets some minutes, and that's very valuable as we try to make a run at this championship.
Foster takes the snap, leads it off straight up the gut, makes it. Running back is Spindle again, makes a nice move, and then he's hit and dropped it about the 30-yard line. Gained it. He ran a long time. I thought he gained more than 4 yards, but going to be a gain of about 4, maybe 5, bringing up third down and long.
I'm like you. I thought he had the first down.
Yeah, he ran, but ran in place there for a good bit. Made a couple side cuts there.
Got
That
some
was Reed,
scores.
excuse me, Coach. That was Reed Curtis, not Spiegel. I'll get that right here in a moment. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Cubcats, Johnson Central still 21-14. Bale over Knox 22-0. Pulaski County 21-0 over South.
You know, Knox Central's had and they're getting beat tonight. They've had a kind of under the radar pretty good year this year.
Yeah.
Foster back to pass, rolling to his right. The right-hander sets up, fires across the middle of the field. He's got a man out there, incomplete. E-Step was closing on that one as well. May have got a hand on it, so pass falls harmlessly to the ground. 4th down and 10 now. 7:34 to go in the first half of play. I don't think they're going to go for it here, will they? I don't know, maybe. Looks like they are.
I don't know what they have to lose. I would. You know, Lincoln has this the ball on the 7, 8, 10-yard line, and they go from making this thing to 14-7. They come back, and now their offense looks like they're in desperation.
Tucker's going to work out of the shotgun. 2 wideouts, 3 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right. And we've got a movement on the line. That's going to back them up 5 yards further as the illegal procedure penalty will go against Lincoln County. They're a bit shook right now. That play would shake anybody. You know?
Yeah, it did. It changed the whole complexion of the first half. They were starting to find a little bit of mojo and found some things they could do, and then you get one picked off for 98 yards.
Foster working out the shotgun, empty backfield, backs up. He looks like he may punt it now. He drops back to his 10. He's going to put the left foot to it. It's a low end over end kick and kicked it to the area of the field where Corbin had nobody at. It's going to roll and continue to roll until it's touchdown at about the 36-yard line. So the quarterback is also the punter. Foster gets it down to about the 36 where Corbin will take over with 7:25 to go in the half, leading 20-0.
Our speed looks like that they're going to really have a hard time being able to handle that. They're big and they're physical, but they're not very quick. I don't want to say they're not very quick. We're just a lot quicker than they are.
To me, the difference in this game has been the offensive line. They have had gaping holes to run through. We've had big, and Mason's had plenty of time to throw. You know, you don't get those big long pass plays if you don't have time for those receivers to get down the field. And so
that, and they can't handle our defensive line up front.
Yeah.
They're having to be creative to do things to slow them down.
Person wide to the right side, Britton to the left. Cole Stevens in the backfield, takes it running behind Petrosky out there. Gets around the corner. Nice block by Petrosky. He's leading the way out there. He's into Lincoln County territory, long down the right sideline. Final hit and and tripped up at about the 27-yard line. A nice run that time by Stevens. He was running behind big Eli Petrosky there. That Eli sat in that slot over there coaching. That's a pretty formidable blocker out there.
Yeah, 6'4", about 230 and athletic. You don't like that coming at you. Also on that right side, Gavin Hinkle, Max Farmer, the center.
Again, he was not touched, Coach. Excuse me.
No.
Stevens was not touched until he was 30 yards down the field. 1st and 10 from the 35 for Corbin, working from the Lincoln County side of the 50. Salmon's back to throw, rolling to his right. He's got all day, dumps it off underneath. He's got his man. Nice catch, stepping out of bounds. Thomas, I believe, makes the toe drag over at about the 22-yard line. That kid catches the ball like a pro player, like a college player. That ball never gets to his body. He gets it out in front of him.
He knows how to play. He's fast. He's smart. He's only going to get better.
Yeah, he's one of the better looking sophomore athletes I've seen in a long time. Really is. Sammons gets the play from the sideline. 1st and 10 from the 21 of Lincoln County. Handoff, Stevens right side, running to the short side of the field. Makes a nice cut. He's running very hard, breaks a couple tackles, still running into the end zone. Touchdown. Corbin ran through 3 arm tackles at about between the 10 and the 5-yard line. And Stevens having a game here tonight. Great run that time by Cole. Corbin on top, 26-0.
He's deceptively strong. He's not your big 5'11", 6'1", 220 back that you'd like to have, but he's a strong kid. He makes good cuts, and he's got a lot of quickness. Most of his scores don't come on straight-out sprints. It's because he's able to cut one way or another.
He cuts at full speed. That time he stuck a foot in the ground at about the 20-yard line and completely changed the direction without losing any speed. Witherington this time drives it right through the middle. Corbin extends their lead 27-0. 7:04 to go in the half. We'll break and then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to playoff football action on T107.
One sip of tropical lime-flavored Mountain Dew Baja Blast will turn this into this. Your barbecue into a cabana. And your backyard into an island oasis. With a blast of tropical lime flavor, you can bring the beach vibes with you everywhere. Grab some friends and ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Do the Dew.
Corbin on top, 27-0. 7:04 to go here in the first half of play. Dave Cox, Burley Foley with you. I'd like to remind everybody to tune in tomorrow morning. We'll get you caught up on all of the playoff action throughout the Commonwealth. Talk a little bit about Kentucky football as well. But join us on the water cooler tomorrow morning on T107 from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We'll have Luke Salmons with us as well. Short kickoff taken by Nutback at the 30. Kind of hesitated there. Then, boy, he paid the price. He got hammered over there at the 32. I'm not sure if he maybe thought he called a fair catch or not, but he acted as if the play was over, and then he got hammered.
Special teams was a little bit of a concern several weeks ago, but boy, they cleaned that part of the game up and doing really well. And a lot of it, I think, has come to this change, this kicking style. We're trying to pin that thing in a corner, and Rithington's getting really good at that. And then we got people that can run. Clay Akins, he's another one of those. Not only does he do well on offense, he's a guy that'll hustle on special teams too. He and Jackson, as well as Bryson Hopkins, have all had some good minutes on special teams for Corbin.
Yeah, we've called Hopkins and Jackson's name a lot. Of course, Akins, you call his a lot on either side of the football. But those two guys, you're right, really good special teams players. 1st and 10 from their own 32. Lincoln County has it. Foster going to keep it himself. He starts around the right side, hit and stacked up, and not much room. May have made it back to the original line of scrimmage. They're not going to be able to run effectively, I don't think, between the tackles. They've done some misdirection stuff that have caused some problems. And really the biggest two biggest games they had is when the quarterback sent everybody long, and then he just kind of ran, Justin Fields style, I guess you could say.
Well, I mean, we're big, quick, and athletic inside, and we're a little undersized at linebacker, but they're getting better, and they've gotten better as the year goes on. That was Malachi Zachary on that specific play, and he's a kid. I think he's come a long way as a football player and just a sophomore.
Person's gotten better too, Burley.
He has.
Yeah, he's on the defensive side. He's primarily an offensive guy for a while, but he's very active on the defensive side of the ball. Here's a little inside reverse handed off to Bryce. He's going to make a move at the 40, stays on his feet. He's over the 40, 45 to about the 47-yard line. That is Bryce Floyd, I should say. Excuse me. That's the kid they've been trying to throw the ball to. He's their leading receiver. He's got 52 catches on the year, so they decided just to hand it off to him, and it worked out well for Lincoln County that time as he picks up the first down out to the 42-yard line of the Patriots.
Well, the one positive thing for Lincoln, if you want to talk about something they've been able to do, is they've been able to get outside our hip of the defensive end. And they're outnumbering us, and they're blocking him down. They're sending a guy to push him down inside and then getting in one-on-one situation. That's what they did on the drive when they threw the interception.
2 wide outs to the right, hand off straight up the gut. Not much running room at all. The back is Damon Spiegel. He's going to be hit and dropped after maybe a gain of 2, possibly 3. We'll call it 3. Second down and 7 now for Lincoln. 21-14 lead at Johnson Central for Covington Catholic. That's the last score we had. Appreciate Wendell Foley manning the phones back there. I know that's a lot of work for him to do that, but he's done it all year long for us, Coach. We're going to have to buy him a dinner somewhere.
Get him a milkshake. Give him a big banana milkshake.
There you go. I was going to say I hesitated because we're going to take him to the root beer stand, but they're closed now.
I'll be glad when it does open.
Yeah. Second down and 8 for the Patriots. Handoff up the gut. Spindle again's got some running room, and he's going to be close to the first down. Spiegel, I should say, not Spindle. Excuse me. Going to be marked about 2 yards shy of the first down.
They were able to find a little room.
Yeah, Curtis and Spiegel are 24 and 34. Those two guys are relatively the same size. Both of them kind of scat back style runners, and they get to the hole very quickly.
Lincoln's got good-looking athletes, skilled athletes. They've got some size, and the quarterback's a good-sized kid. Up front, they're not small, they're not huge. They just don't have the quickness that Corbin has.
I talked a little bit at halftime about all the games going on throughout the Commonwealth. A lot of good football being played tonight. 3rd down and 2, big play here. The quarterback's going to keep it himself. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. He's not going to make it. He may have lost a half a yard. Well, they're going to mark him down right at the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 4th down and about 2. That's been evidently a good play for them all year long. In this game, that's been their 2 biggest ground gainers, the quarterback keeper. But once was out of necessity because he was chased out of the pocket. Another time was a called play. But he's their second leading rusher on the year.
They're 9-2. They've had a wonderful season. Played, as we talked about, Franklin County, somewhat good.
35-13 with Franklin County, and Boyle was 48-7.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can put into, you don't know if there was injuries or, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. But when you do see it, it opens your eyes to go, well, they can compete.
Well, I can see where they can compete. Handoff straight up the gut. They're not going to make it. Going forward on 4th down. The ball's loose. Corbin's got it. Redhounds stopped the play and then fell on the fumble to add insult to injury. They went for it on 4th and 2. He was not going to make the first down. Caught the football up trying to reach forward with it, I believe. And I believe Goins, Burley was the kid who knocked the ball loose.
Big Josh Goins.
He's doing most of the celebrating anyway, put it that way. He either got the fumble or knocked it loose. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or he's going to claim it.
Yeah. 3:07 to go here now. And I'm just going to say this because the math works out. But Corbin can get to the running clock here if they were to score on this drive. They're going to have to go for 2 after a touchdown and be successful, but they can get the running clock. I don't know if that's anything that has crossed anybody's mind except for mine. Stevens motions out the backfield. Salmon's back there by himself. Looks to throw. He is wide open, alone in the pocket. Fires long down the middle. He's got a receiver right there. Thomas makes a catch all the way down to the 20-yard line. That was a strike that time. And, boy, I tell you, that was a thing of beauty as that ball stayed in the air for what seemed like 2 or 3 seconds. You could see Thomas running under it.
What great patience Mason had to stay in the pocket and what time our offensive line was able to give him. But Zach Thomas, you're right. He catches that ball out in front of him. He runs the patterns. He's going to be a wonderful player.
Almost like a basketball player, but he had his body blocking the defender off and just had his hands 2 feet out in front of him. Salmon's working in the shotgun again, motions Stevens out of there. Looks to throw, rolling to his right. He's got a little bit of trouble now, reverses his field. He's going to keep it himself, starts up the left side, carrying that thing like a loaf of bread down there and tucks it under and goes down at about the 13-yard line, gain of 7. Must have very strong hands because we've seen him carry that ball like that most of the time this year.
I was wondering, about his hands because he don't throw it like a 5'10" quarterback.
Now how tall was Drew Brees? 5'10", or was he 6'1"?
I'm not sure.
Back to pass, dump that off underneath to Stevens, works to the right side, makes a cut, puts his foot in the ground. He's going to take it into the end zone virtually untouched. Nice read that time by Salmons. He kind of looked the defender off, and looked the defender off and then dumped it underneath.
Boy, some of the things you don't see. Clay Aikens had a great block. I like the way he plays, and I'll go back to a couple weeks ago. We don't want to take away from Cole's touchdown. I mean, Cole's good. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah, that's not any news.
Yeah, he's had a great year, but boy, that was a good block by Aikens on that specific play.
Yeah, we knew Stevens was good last year. And Cole had a great year last year as well. He's had a really nice career here at Corbin. Now we've got Corbin's going to take a timeout here on the extra one. Are they thinking of going for 2 right here to get that clock running? Because they were going to kick the extra point. They had Witherington out there, and somebody on the sideline saw something they didn't like. Maybe we did not have enough players in there. But if they come out and go for 2 here, you don't want to appear to rub their nose in it. But the quicker you get off this field without any injuries right now, the better off. I go for 2 right here and get this thing over with and get back home on the couch as quick as I can.
I mean, that would be my philosophy. Some coaches want to play because we've not played a full game in a long time now. Now, you can bet one thing. We'll have to next week.
Well, there's no question. But you want to play that full game with all your dudes.
Right, right.
And one turned ankle, one cheap shot, one even it could be our own doing. You get a kid get upset and take a swing at somebody, and all of a sudden they're out of there. But I believe we're going to go for 2, Coach.
Looks like it. And
I know this may not sit too well with a lot of the Lincoln folk, but I have to believe this is the right thing to do. If you can, and again, Lincoln's. They can certainly come back and make this a game, but you want to try to get your kids home quick as you can. Pitch out right side. Stevens got it, stumbles forward. I don't know if he made it. He's going to be cut down short, I believe.
I don't think he got it.
He did not make it. He kind of he lost his footing. It looked like he stumbled when he made the catch, and Lincoln able to turn Corbin away on the extra point attempt, and 2 minutes exactly to go in the half. Corbin on top, 33-0.
Looked like he caught his foot in the turf and couldn't regain his balance. But, that's a good time if you are going to go for 2. There may be a time next week, and it looks like we're probably going into next week. I'd be shocked that you may have to go for 2 to tie or to win the game.
Well, in the 33-0 game, you don't want to show your best stuff right there, but I think mathematically that's the time to go ahead and try for it. I would agree.
They got the cannon fired up tonight. They eat a lot of smoke anyway.
Yeah, Les Williamson does a great job of that. Well, we've got a big crew down in the kids zone down there. About 6 games going on at once.
I love after the Spirit line when they head down there.
Yeah. Witherington short end over end kick, angle to the right side of the field where they've been kicking on. It takes a bounce. That ball's loose. A big pile up down there at the 25-yard line, just inside the 25. I think Lincoln County got back on it, and they did. Well, that was dangerously open right there, or for Lincoln County there for what seemed like a full second or 2, but the Patriots able to get back on top of the football, and we'll have it 1st and 10 with 1:58 to go here in the half.
Well, the Lincoln County kid should have come fair caught it. He would have done 2 things. He would have saved himself that hard lick, and the other thing, he would have gotten better field position.
If you're Corbin here, you do not want to allow any kind of a score. I mean,
no.
They got a little momentum holding us on that 2-point conversion. Actually, I think he went down without being touched, but still yet. Quarterback is Foster. Leaves it off with Spiegel right up the middle, dragging some tacklers with him. Nice hard run that time by 34 Damon Spiegel. He's got about 800 yards rushing on the year. He's a nice running back.
They put together, when it was 14-0, they put together a nice drive, and by all accounts should at least got 3. But Johnny on the spot, Cam Estep, or I should say Cammy on the spot, came away with 98 yard interception, that just changed the whole complexion of the game. You just see the air let out of Lincoln when that happened.
You know, it's funny that the same athletes that we're throwing the football to, the other team's throwing it to as well. This is the same guys on our wide receivers are our defensive backs. Quarterback keeper straight up the middle is going to be enough for the first down as Foster gets it out over the 35-yard line. That will stop the clock as they move the chains. 33-0, Corbin on top.
Try to update some scores for you at halftime. One that we're particularly interested in is Johnson Central and Cove Cath. And the last I got was still 21-14. Bale was still 22-0 over Knox.
Foster gets the play from wide receiver Bryce Floyd. Floyd comes to the sideline. He gets from the coach. Then Floyd takes it out there to the goal. That's a lot of responsibility. I would not want that job. Handoff straight up the gut. Again, that is going to be Spiegel. He's hit and snacked up. Nowhere to go. No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Now clock winding down 35 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to be in any hurry. Lincoln County, that is, to get another play off. It looks like they're going to look at the play clock. It's at 32. The game clock's at 26. They may try to run one more play. Estep may get another interception here. But here's the thing. If you just throw one up for grabs and Estep does intercept it, he may take it back.
He could.
I mean, he returns a lot of those, those at punts. That's where he makes a lot of his business at.
He's just good in open field. He's just a very, very good player in open field.
3 wide outs to the right. The quarterback's going to keep it himself after a fake handoff, and he's going to pay the price. He's hit and dropped over there. A host of Red Hounds. Max Farmer in on that initial hit, as was Tayton Cox. That's going to bring to close the first half of play. All Red Hounds. 33-0, Corbin on top. We'll break for a short time out, then be back and talk a little bit more about this football game and what else is going on throughout the Commonwealth. Stay with us. You're listening to Corbin Red Hound Football State Playoffs on WCTT T107.
Need auto repairs? Then you need Owens Auto Repair. Owens offers a wide variety of parts and services. You'll find all the top name brand batteries and tires to a full line of truck and auto parts. Utility beds, Sherman-Williams auto paint, weather guard toolboxes, custom-made hydraulic hoses, and yes, service work for cars, trucks, and RVs. Whether it's auto repairs or just a battery or new tires, Owens Auto Repair has you covered. Owens Auto Repair, serving you for more than half a century. Located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin.
Are you looking for reliable electrical supplies? Look no further than Eubanks Electrical Supply. From light bulbs to circuit breakers, we've got everything you need to power up your projects. Our expert staff is ready to help you find the right tools and materials to complete your project. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast or a professional contractor, Eubanks Electrical Supply has you covered with top brands and friendly service. Stop by today in Corbin, Kentucky at 701 South Main Street or in Somerset, Kentucky at 1030 West Columbia Street and discover why Eubanks Electrical Supply has been the trusted name in electrical supply for over 60 years.
Dispatch, I will be stopping a high-speed reckless driver en route from Smoky Bear's barbecue to the Big Corbin ball game.
Officer, proceed with caution. Smoky Bear's is serving up some of the best food in town. They have house-made sauces, rubs, fall-off-the-bone ribs, catfish, and ridiculous salads.
You weren't kidding. This place has folks lined up out the door. Send every unit you can before Smoky Bear's runs out of food.
Attention all units requesting backup at Smoky Bear's Barbecue and Catering on American Greeting Card Road.
Enjoy Smoky Bear's Barbecue 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and all your catering needs. Dine in, carry out, order online, and DoorDash.
Ready to start the fun? Honda CRF Trail Bike lineup is built for riders of all ages and sizes. Start small with the beginner-friendly CRF 50F, step up to the electric start 110F, or go bigger with the CRF 125F, available in standard and big wheel versions. They're rugged, reliable, and built for off-road fun. Visit Tri-County Cycle Sales, 8775 US Highway 25 in Corbin, Kentucky today, and get the whole family riding with Honda CRF trail bikes. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda off-road bikes are recommended for riders of appropriate age and skill level.
Hey folks, this is Sammy here at Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. Our big Black Friday sale is going on right now, so if you're looking to save big on sofas, sectionals, love seats, we've even got power rocker recliners with heat and kneading massagers. In fact, the whole store's on sale. And we can't wait, folks. That's why the biggest sale of the year starts right now. So bring a big truck and a little bit of money to Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. We're open 7 days a week from 10 to 6 and on Sundays from 12 to 5. We've got 12 months same as cash financing if you need it, and folks, we deliver. That's Sammy's Furniture and Mattress. Come see us today.
Ever heard the phrase big enough to serve you, small enough to know you? It's true at Hometown Bank. From the easy-to-use mobile app to online banking and even bill pay, Hometown Bank has everything you need to make banking easier. Whether you need to make a mobile deposit or would rather stop in and see a friendly, smiling face in person, Hometown Bank is here and ready to help. Stop in and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
One sip of tropical lime-flavored Mountain Dew Baja Blast will turn this into this. Your barbecue into a cabana. And your backyard into an island oasis. With a blast of tropical lime flavor, you can bring the beach vibes with you everywhere. Grab some friends and ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Do the Dew.
33-0 the score here at the half. The Red Hounds on top. Still about 10, 15 minutes left to go. They usually put another 3 minutes on when they come back out. There's 10 on the clock, but I think in the playoffs they've actually put 5 on there. They're recognizing the Corbin Middle School football team out there, and I see Coach Jody Mauser and his staff all heading out there, recognizing them at midfield, Burley. And the reason why is because the middle school is in the state championship game tomorrow for middle school Division 4A. At LCA tomorrow. They're playing Rockcastle County at 1 o'clock tomorrow at Lexington Christian Academy.
Well, Jody in his first year at the middle school, he's been a long-time coach here. Very happy for him. He took over for Brent Jackson, who had won several championships. And then, you go back through the years. You go back to Ed Miller and Coach Miller and Ed White started the 8th grade program. Then Coach Miller, Coach Johnny Jones, Coach Brent Jackson, Coach Willard Ferris, and of course now Coach Mauser. Our middle school for a long time has been the cream of the crop, and Jody is continuing that tradition, and I'm extremely happy for Jody.
Yeah, we had Jody on the water cooler this past Saturday. He came in right after Luke. Actually, they ran in together and ran into each other for a few minutes there as we were switching over microphones, and just happy. He said he loves it. He said it's been a great experience for him. He's doing a great job, and I was so glad they were playing Johnson Central. We talked to him Saturday morning, so they played Johnson Central later that afternoon, got that win, and now they're going to be taking on Rockcastle County. It's the classes are very similar to what the high schools are. There's not as many middle school teams as there are regular high school teams, so that's why Rockcastle and Corbin are in the same classification. But should be a good game. They say Rock is really big and athletic as well. I know Corbin's got some size. I'm looking at those kids out of Israel. That's a pretty big bunch of 8th graders.
I was going to say that don't look like a middle school football team, and we certainly don't want to leave the people that had the 7th grade teams through those years either. Coach Hanna, Coach Hendrickson, Coach Foley, Coach Wendell Foley,
Greg as well,
Greg,
Barnett,
Jeff. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of good people that have been involved with that program. But it goes all the way back to Coach Miller and Coach White started it. I don't know what year that was. I'd like to know, and I should know. But again, get out and support Jody and the middle school Hounds. Rockcastle, they're having a good high school year. They're excited about football, and it'll be a tough contest. But I look for the Red Hounds to bring it back home one more time.
Well, Brent Jackson got a fistful of those rings, and he won it almost every other year. Sometimes he won it back to back. So I know that would take a little pressure off of Jody. If at least at Bays won't give him quite as hard a time if he wins it the first year. Jody being typical Jody fashion. He said if I win one, he said I could just quit and say every year I coached I won it.
He's sly.
But at any rate, he'll hang in there for a while. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Boyle County had throughout the state. Boyle County had a win last night. They beat Wayne County 42-0. Tonight, Ashton Paul Blazer playing at Highlands. A game certainly interesting, Corbin, because if the scores hold out the way we know them to be right now, then Corbin would be going to Highlands next week. If the Johnson Central game continues to go the way of Covcath winning it. But at any rate,
I do have an update on that, by the way.
Okay, fire away.
21-21.
21-21, okay. So all tied up, so still anybody's game. But Bryan Station at Frederick Douglass tonight. Corbin played both of those two teams. Frederick Douglass, I think, one of the better teams in the state, Burley.
Oh, they're right in the mix every year. They've got it going on in Frederick Douglass. That's where a lot of the kids in Lexington are transferring to, and it's just we saw they got a great back, and I think they're going to be hard to deal with here down the road.
Of course, we've talked ad nauseum in the first half about Covcath and Johnson Central, so we'll let that one go. But all tied at 21 right now. Danville at Somerset. Danville kind of a little bit of a resurgence. The Somerset, a team that just kind of flies under the radar. Always pretty good.
They are, and again, I would rather go into this year like that, under the radar, into the playoffs, than being one of the touted teams, because that way everybody's shooting at you.
Franklin Simpson at Paducah Tillman. Tillman will be heavily favored in that game. Hazard Burley, the number 10 team in Single A, at Middlesboro, who's the number 5 team in Single A. Middlesboro 10-0 on the year.
Yeah, look for Middlesboro. I like Middlesboro in that game. Hazard has a good football team, but Coach Finch over there, he won a state championship at Boyle County. He's really got some things going on.
Knox Central, Bell County, you've already got us updated on that score. Bell County comfortably ahead of Knox Central right now. Lincoln Corbin's going on here in front of our own eyes. Logan County at E-Town. Don't know much about those two teams, but Logan County, one of those teams, Buddy, that we don't know much about, but has been ranked above Corbin for most of the year in the RPI ratings.
Big school in Western Kentucky, and they've had some success over in at Logan County. Matter of fact, I think didn't they do pretty well in the state basketball tournament 4 or 5 years ago? It seems like
one of my good friends, Kevin Hubb, was superintendent over there for a good bit, and Kevin then went to Scott County, became superintendent. Now he works at Eastern, but I did follow Logan a little bit when Kevin was there, but not quite as much now. One of the teams you've touted all year long is the 9-2 North Laurel Jaguars at West Jessamine, and this is a good football team. North Laurel, they've gotten better as the year went along.
I thought in the Corbin game I saw, even though we won that game 28-14, I saw some promise. They were very physical. They were big. They were excited about football. Don't be surprised. I think North will win tonight, and don't be surprised if they can't make a little run here pretty deep.
Well, West Jessamine is 8-3 on the year, and that's one of the teams, probably what we said earlier in our broadcast tonight. That's one of the best wins, if not the best win that Lincoln County has this year. They're probably two best games with the two high-rated teams. They played very close, but they did beat West Jessamine, so we'll see how that one turns out on the road there for North Laurel at West Jessamine. Rockcastle County is at Lawrence County. Lawrence County team I've kind of kept an eye on because Coach Salmon started his, or at least had some of his coaching career at Lawrence County. Then went to West Virginia. Coach. I've got the commissioner of education now, one of my friends, a guy that we've known for a long time here in Corbin, Robbie Fletcher, was superintendent over there. And Lawrence County's got a nice football team. And didn't they have a coach a while back that was very successful, kind of a controversial guy?
Chooch Williams.
Yeah.
I think's his name.
I'd say not controversial, just a very flamboyant guy. He,
if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy that was barefooted sometimes, and like flamboyant's a good name, but he had a lot of success.
Good coach
at Lawrence County, and they made some runs and did very well while he was over there. I did get a text in from our buddy Kevin Pace. Said the 8th grade program started in 1973.
1973.
Yeah, now that's not the All-Stars.
Well, that's why
the actual 8th grade program.
That's why I didn't know it. I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
Back to Rockcastle County, the Rock's 10-1 on the year. Their only loss was 2 Bell, but I think Lawrence County is kind of a deep sleeper over there. South Laurel Burley at Pulaski County, 42-7. Pulaski handled South Laurel earlier in the year.
It's about the same. I got a score on that one. I think it was 42-0. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull it up now. Looks like Pulaski 42, South Laurel 0. Covcath, and as we said, they're tied up. So it looks like Pulaski County's going to move on.
Okay, Spencer County at North Oldham. Don't know a whole lot about either of those two teams. Valley at Franklin County. That's pretty much a bye for Franklin County. Again, Franklin County got a great draw, and I know none of this stuff is prearranged. I'm not even insinuating that at all. But they're in the bracket they're in does not have one team in the top 10 in the RPI other than them. And that's another one of the fallacies I think of that thing. But with that being said, said, Williamsburg, coached by our friend Jerry Herron at Pikeville. That'll be a tough out over at Pikeville. But, hey, I don't ever count Williamsburg out.
No, they're going to compete, but that's a little bit. I think it's a little bit of a mismatch for them going over to Pikeville. Jerry, as we have talked about on the water cooler numerous times this year, I think he's one of the better coaches and not only better coaches, better men in Southeast Kentucky, and we'd like to see him go over there and win. But that's going to be a tall order for him.
Well, I just received a text from your son, from BJ, and he said North Laurel is down 17-7 late in the third to West Jessamine.
That's surprising to me. I thought they would get West Jessamine.
Yeah, it does me as well. But hey, that's what's so beautiful about the playoffs is you never can tell this time of year. But I did not expect this. 33-0 at the half. Corbin on top. We probably should tell the folks the score if they're just tuning in. 1:40 still on the clock. But Corbin not even out of the locker room yet. Just as I say that, I see the Red Hounds coming around the corner, so to speak, but they'll put a few more minutes on this clock. But I did not expect this to be a 33-0 game at the half.
I didn't either. I matter of fact, we have a little thing, Christopher Meehan, who does such a good job with keeping a lot of the old alumni, the old Red Hounds, involved. He puts out a thing on each week, and you can predict the score, and I picked 24-7 was my prediction. And I'm a little surprised that the Red Hounds have been able to. It honestly should be 40-0 right now. We missed one early.
Yeah, we did.
So I'm pleased, but pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, all due respect to everybody involved, Lincoln County's had a great year. They're 9-2 on the season. But if I'm Corbin, I try to get this thing over as quick as I can, get my guys off the field, and get that clock running, and then. Take it whichever direction we end up going. It looks like it's still very much up in the air whether Corbin, if let's assume Corbin wins this game ahead 33-0 at the half, you would think they have a good shot of doing that. But let's say Corbin does win, going to Highlands. If Highlands beats, or if Johnson Central loses to Covcath, if Johnson Central wins, Corbin be going to Boyle. Either way, it's a tall order. Either way, they're going to be on the road. I don't think the players care as much as the fans do. You know,
right.
it's you know, it's just one of those things that's good to talk about. But again, thanks to Wendell Foley for keeping us up to date with what's going on. Let's see how much time they put back on the clock here. It just ran down to zeros, and Corbin's only been out for about 1 or 2 minutes out of their locker room.
I do have an update on that Covcath game. It's now 28-21 Covcath over Johnson Central, and BJ just texted in to us, and looks like North has scored now in the West Jessamine game, just scored.
17-14.
So that thing's closing the gap on that.
I'll tell you what, we owe the Foleys a debt of gratitude here. Okay, we're going to go down to the field where Aliana has got Coach Sammons with her. Go ahead, Aliana.
Hey, Coach, what message did you have for your team at halftime?
I thought we played a good first half. No penalties, really. We had one mistake on that drive, but proud of our kids being disciplined and playing physical.
What were you most pleased with in the first half?
Just, the energy, attitude, effort, playing as a team, selfless, what you want to be like.
Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Dave.
All right. Thank you, Aliana. Again, we appreciate Aliana and Coach Sammons giving up his time here. I know some coaches would not do this. And Burley, you've been around sports your whole life. Some coaches are so focused they won't do it. You've got to call 2 weeks ahead of time to get an interview. Coach Sammons is always there. Anything we ask him. And you were out last week. You had a family thing, and I think I told you this, but we had a glitch at the station because we had lightning strike the night before. So Coach could not call in. He was down working at the field house. I called him and said, Coach, we can't get you on because of the phone. And he said, I can drive over. So he drove across town, got there in about 5 minutes.
He's a good man. It's uncomfortable for some people. Let's call it like it is. Some people don't have the personality to talk in public or don't want to, or whatever the reason is. And I think Coach Sammons is one of those guys that, quite honestly, would prefer I don't think he enjoys public speaking. I've gotten to know him a little bit. He's a wonderful human, and he cares about Corbin. He cares about the program, but that's not his forte, and he will tell you that. But your point is taken exactly right. It doesn't matter. He's kind of guy. It doesn't matter what he wants to do. He wants to do what's asked of him.
Yeah, and last week I kind of filled your role there where you were out, and so I got to talk to him for the first time really in an extended version as far as the interview is concerned. He was most excited when he was talking about his players. I asked him to, we talked about some things with his kids and his background and all that kind of thing. But when he started talking about his players, you could tell that's when he really perked up. So, but that's just a good thing. But again, we do appreciate his time here at halftime, and we appreciate Aliana and Patty getting that done down there as well. I know I like it because I can see the big scoreboard from here, so they put them up on the big scoreboard, and that's just a cool touch, I think. I mean, it is. There's not many high schools that do things the way Corbin has done them for decades, and I'm certainly very appreciative to be a part of that here in some small part on the radio.
Well, I mean, again, you're so fortunate to be part of something, and to be able to be part of the football program and the radio program. I feel privileged because you get to know people like Coach Salmons and the Eubanks family, and on and on. It's just a very warm, welcoming thing to be able to be part of what I think is a historic football program. But it's the people that make that program.
Well, and I'll go one step further. I was talking to one of my buddies who across the state who does radio as well, and he said, you're so fortunate. He said, you guys have good football and good basketball every year. He said, you even do some baseball games. He said, your baseball team's good. I said, well, your girls' basketball team is good. Your boys' basketball team is good. And so we are fortunate. And I think that, you couple that with the other things that this district has to offer. It's a good place for kids to be. Corbin will be kicking it away here to start the second half. Witherington steps into it. This one is a little bit longer than he's been kicking it for, all the way down inside the 10-yard line, taken back there by Spiegel again. I'm thinking he's going to be hit and dropped finally out over the 20-yard line. Was hit back about the 15 and drug several tacklers with him up to about the 22, and that's where Lincoln County will take over first down at 10.
Well, if Lincoln don't get something going early here, they've got no shot here in the second half. They've got to come out firing. Got an updated score. Danville over Somerset 7-6. Danville having one of their better years in some time.
It's been a while. It's been a bit, but now they're certainly back in the big way, playing single A again, where they I think had most of their success early on. And a small school over there, but what a rich tradition. Wideouts to both sides for the quarterback Foster. Got Spiegel set in behind him. They give it off straight up. They got the Spiegel hit and dropped. Big pile at about the 24-yard line, maybe a gain of a yard.
Everybody on the front line.
Yeah, you can't call the tackler on that one. That was just as a mosh pit. They're going to give him a pretty good spot, though. They move him all the way out to the 25, so 2 yards on the carry. Just underway, second half of play. Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you, 33-0. Corbin on top. Don't know which direction we'll be going. May know by the end of this broadcast. If Cubcath holds on and beats Johnson Central, Corbin will be going to Highlands if Highlands wins, of course, and if not, then Boyle County. And the Rebels already a winner last night. Foster working out of the shotgun, empty backfield. He looks to his left. Now he's going to keep himself quarterback draw, hit and drop. Loss of 2 on the play. Did not fool anybody. First person to the rescue for the Hounds was number 50, Max Farmer, and also in there, Malachi Brown. Malachi's had a nice game, Coach. He's had his hands on several ball handlers.
Well, it's one of the first teams I've seen this year kind of challenge him. Everybody's tried to go away from him, either double or do some things to get away from number 0. But tonight, one thing I'll credit Lincoln, they've said, hey, big boy, we're coming right at you. And he's answered the bell,
I don't think there's anybody happier about that than him.
He is. He's happy about it.
I mean, he's we mentioned earlier, he's shown some he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but he had a couple sacks there early, and he got a little fired up. Third down at 10 now for the Patriots, working from their own 23. Clock moving 10:15 to go in the third. Back to throw is Foster. Ball fakes left side, throwing long down the left sideline. He's got a receiver out there. Well played by Britton. Knocked away, incomplete. Bobby Britton and E-step there, but Britton stepped in front of the intended receiver. He comes up limping a little bit, but he batted that pass away, and a good defensive play by Britton.
Britton and E-step, they were with him stride for stride. I thought one of them was going to pick it off, but I wasn't sure which one.
Well, it looks like a cramp maybe, I say, and Britton's still limping a little bit. He's not even glancing at the sideline. He does not want to go out, but I think he's cramping just a little bit here. But that was a nice play by Lucas.
A couple of seniors. We're going to miss those guys next year.
Yeah, they covered a lot of ground back there. They sure do. Well, Lincoln going forward here. I think it's going to be a quick pick. I think he punted that one off the back, maybe It hit somebody. I think it hit one of his linemen. He tried to punt that thing from about 3 yards deep, did the quarterback, and it's going to roll dead at about the 38-yard line. 15-yard punt, and Corbin will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, it wasn't blocked. I think he just kicked it into the line.
What do you call that, a quick kick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our dear friend Alan Knox, I remember, had a quick kick one time. And you remember you were playing for South Ward, and at that point in time, he quick kicked it, or punted it right into the snapper. I remember we used to kid Alan about that. God rest his soul. Alan was a true red hand. We miss him.
He was a good one.
Alan was a great one. A good high school football player.
Yes, he was.
Good high school football player. Sam is with backs flanking him to either side, takes a snap, fakes it to Person. I was going to give it to Person. Trey looking for some running room. He's around the corner. He's not even touched. He's into the secondary at the 20, makes a cut back, and going to be finally knocked down at about the 16-yard line, gain of 21 on the play for Person.
Good block by Cam, getting Person on the corner. That's one thing I like about Corbin's receivers. They block for each other.
You know, let me ask you this, and I never really thought about it until I've seen this group much play, and really just that play. But being a good athlete helps you be a better blocker, doesn't it?
Oh, there's no question. Yeah,
you get in position, get your feet set, that type of thing.
That's why they put us big chubby guys up front.
Well, there you go. Just lean on somebody. Mm-hmm. Handoff Person again, sidesteps a tackler in the hole, bounces it outside, gets down near the 10-yard line, maybe about the 12, gain of 5 on the play for Trey.
He and Cole complement each other in a way that Cole's a totally different runner than Trey. Cole's a slasher, a cutter. He finds space, and he's able to make those quick cuts. Persons is a downhill runner. He gets his shoulder pads out over his knees. He's going downhill, and he takes on contact.
I think he's a kid that's just now realizing how good he can be. His confidence level is probably better than it's ever been, but still could go up even more. Salmon's back to throw, fires across the middle. He's got a receiver right there, contested catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Corbin. At least whoever's controlling the lights thinks it's a touchdown. Catch by E-Step. Touchdown, Redhounds.
Well, what a play. That was just they had Cam isolated to the left side. He ran a slant. Mason put it on him.
He was well defended, Burley.
He was.
There was nothing wrong with that, and Cam wrestled the ball away. But Cam, again, a good job of keeping his body between the ball and the defender, and that's just a very experienced athletic play by Cam. Came up a little bit gimpy there. He's going to walk it off there on the sidelines, but E-Step doing it on both sides of the football. Witherington to attempt the extra point. Snaps a good one. Sammons gets it down. Kick on the way. It is long and strong right down the middle. Corbin extends their lead 40-0. Corbin on top. 7:50 to go here in the third quarter of play, and that will get a running clock, I believe. And, again, I never have gotten complete clarity on that, but I don't think in the playoffs the coaches have any say in this, do they? Or do they?
No, I don't think so. I think it's automatic. Here's an interesting score. Highlands 35, Ashland 0. Middlesboro 16 over Hazard 6. Danville over Somerset Cubcath, and Johnson Central still 28-21. So things are starting to take shape, Dave.
Well, nothing against anybody in southeastern Kentucky. I always pull for southeastern Kentucky teams, generally speaking. But if we play Boyle, I hope it's in the championship game.
Oh, me too. Me too. One, because they're really good.
They're mainly because they're really good. But I just think that that's probably the way it should have been a couple times.
I do.
And I think that that just gives one more chance to get knocked off. But the truth is, I think they've been the most consistent team in 4A all year long. And I think Highlands probably plays a style a little more conducive to Corbin.
Boyle County deserves everything they have right now. They've earned it.
Witherington's kick is on the way, low ground ball. I was looking up in the air, and that one just scooted right under my eyeballs. Picked up by up back, and he is hit and hammered. I'm going to get the number of that kid. That was Person, I believe. Yeah, Trey just hammered him down at about the 15-yard line. He was shot out of a rocket. It's somehow sometimes you can just watch a kid play, and you can just watch their confidence grow from week to week to week. He was very tentative first couple of weeks, kind of picking his way. Now he's looking for somebody to hit, even when he's got the ball in his hand.
He's going to be a good player. He's a junior. He'll be back next. He's a good player now, but I think we're going to see great things out of him.
Really good baseball player, Burley. He's a good athlete.
Went over with you to the district tournament last year, and he had a couple hits in that game. Hit it hard.
Nice player. Corbin on top, 40-0, 5:40 to go in the third quarter play. We do have a running clock now. The fifth or sixth consecutive game Corbin's had to run the clock. Here's a little pass out into the flat, completed out there to Bryce. He's going to be hit and dropped in a long way. They're going to get a penalty. One of the few penalties, and knock on wood as I say that, in the game. That's a face mask penalty against Corbin, and it was a good one. Bryce Floyd was going to go down, and somebody got a piece of his, inadvertently got a piece of his face mask.
And I may be off on my count, but I think it's only the fourth penalty in the game. I remember 2 holding penalties, and I remember that one, and then I think there was a procedure penalty. So that's pretty good on both teams' part.
I think most coaches would tell you, unless it's a coach that's greatly outmatched trying to pull an upset, most coaches would tell you just keep the flag in your pocket and let the kids decide.
Exactly. Those are the best games to watch.
But that is a 15-yarder, and that was the right call. You can see Bryce Floyd's head jerk around there, and again, inadvertent, but all the same, 15-yard penalty moves it out to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Patriots of Lincoln County. Corbin pitching a shutout right now, leading 40-0. 4:38 to go in the third. Back to passes. Tucker throwing long down the left sideline. He's got a man out there. It's going to be caught. Hauled in all the way down at the 35-yard line. That time a beautiful throw that time and a catch by Johnny Adkins. Down deep into Corbin territory at the 25, and that's just a nice play. He threw that ball perfectly, Burley.
It was, and in defense of Corbin, the defense, play on words, Bryce Hopkins had just come in the game, and I think we were a little confused about what we were doing. So, but don't want to take away from Lincoln's play. Good play on Lincoln's part.
Yeah, and not Bryce's fault either. He was hustling out to get to this end, and I think the play went off a little before then. Corbin's going to take a timeout here, I think, and get some things straightened out. Nope. I'll take that back. So Lincoln with it. 1st and 10, back to throws. Tucker dumps it off underneath. Got his back out there. No, through his hands. Ball just a touch short, and the running back there, 22, Cash Smith, ran just before he caught the football.
Well, if you're scouting Corbin, and I'm sure not only will Boyle be looking, but Cub Cath will be looking, Highlands will be looking, we're going to have to make an adjustment because that play's been there for them this evening. They've been able to hit it. Matter of fact, the drive when we had the 98-yard interception, they hurt us 3 or 4 times with that. And what they're doing is they're blocking down and they're just releasing that back out in the flat, and we're already inside him. We've got to get outside him, force him back to the inside.
They're seeing the wideouts deep, and our defenders have their back turned. Quarterback draw, and to no running room at all as he's going to be hit and dropped. And Blaylock in there on that hit, as well as I was trying to pick up that number 48 over there for Corbin. That was Luke Hatfield.
There's a kid I like to give a lot of credit to is Tyson. His senior year, he's not been a starter, but he's played starter minutes, and he's had a great attitude. He comes in and he plays his role.
He's got a little juice, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been a big part of what we've been able to accomplish here in 2025.
3rd down and 12 for the Patriots. Tucker Foster now he's running over. Well, I think when the ball's on this short hash mark, the quarterback runs over the long hash mark. They send their wide receiver closest to the bench. That's probably a good idea. Foster back to throw. Here comes the Corbin rush. He fires it down the left sideline. Going to be caught for the touchdown. Nice throw that time. The Corbin defender had his back turned, did not see it, did not see the pass coming, and the receiver made a nice job of coming back to the football. That is number 5, Johnny Adkins, and he's the same kid who had the long pass catch there a minute ago, Burley. So Lincoln County on the board.
Well, good throw and good catch. Got a new kid in the game. It's a learning time for him. But it when these games, I like to see the other team score. I'll just be real honest with you. Not now. If that's my son or my cousin or something, I don't like to see him score on him.
I got you. Brody Baker on to attempt the extra point. He drives it right through, kicks that one right into the middle of the game down there in the kids' zone. They'll be lucky if they get that ball back. They kicked it.
Yeah, good luck getting that one back.
That one may be a souvenir. But
we got a good one in Johnson County in Paintsville.
Tied up again?
29-28. Johnson Central over Cub Cath now.
That is a good one. 1:20 to go now. Clock continues to run at Corbin. A running clock does not stop once it starts, so it's 40-7 now. Even though the deficit is 33, which is under the 35 threshold, once it starts, it'll continue to run. So I got a feeling that both these teams would go on home right now if they could.
Yeah, Lincoln just didn't have the firepower to compete. They didn't have the speed. I don't know what their situation is with the injuries or sickness, or it could be a lot of things. But they've had a good year. Lincoln's had a very, very good football year. They're going to finish the year 9-3, which is very, very reputable. They went two playoff games in deep.
Final 16 in the state.
Yeah, they got a reason to be excited about football at Lincoln County.
So if you're Coach Sammons, do you bring your starters back out to start the fourth quarter?
I don't.
On offense?
No, I don't.
I think I would run some running plays, and if this thing ended up 40-21, I wouldn't be too concerned.
No, I put them on the shelf.
Baker's kick on the way. It is an onside kick. Takes a big Corbin hop and fielded over there cleanly by one of the upbacks. That was 48 again. That's Hatfield. He's everywhere. Nice job by Hatfield. He stepped up and the ball just barely went 10 yards, and it was a live ball. And Hatfield went up in the crowd and pulled it down. So Corbin will retain possession here, leading 40-7. That is the end of the third quarter. So we'll take a short timeout, I believe. Both teams still out on the field. We'll take a short timeout here. After 3, Corbin ahead 40-7. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Need auto repairs? Then you need Owens Auto Repair. Owens offers a wide variety of parts and services. You'll find all the top name brand batteries and tires to a full line of truck and auto parts. Utility beds, Sherman-Williams auto paint, weather guard toolboxes, custom-made hydraulic hoses, and yes, service work for cars, trucks, and RVs. Whether it's auto repairs or just a battery or new tires, Owens Auto Repair has you covered. Owens Auto Repair, serving you for more than half a century. Located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin.
Four minutes left.
Corbin on top, 40-7. Getting ready to start the fourth and final period of play. Hound's been on top. They took it down and scored early. Actually, the opening drive of the game, they took it down and looked about ready to score. Had it first and 10 inside the 20, fumbled it, and then since then they've not slowed down. I think they probably scored on every possession. I don't believe we punted tonight, have we?
No, we haven't punted in a while.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
We haven't punted in a month.
Yeah.
Starters are back out for Corbin.
I kind of thought he might go a couple series. We'll see what happens. But I'm like you. I believe I'd shut him down pretty quickly. Salmon's flanked by backs on either side. 2 wide outs to the left. They're going to give it off to Akins. He's going to try the left side. Makes a nice cut. Still on his feet, and he's going to be hit and dropped. Maybe. Yeah, he's finally thrown down. His forward progress is going to get him out to about the 46-yard line. Gain of about 4.
Well, they got him on the ground, but they didn't make him like it. I really like the effort he gives. And I want to point out something about him. A few weeks ago, he scored a big, long touchdown, came back out, and then made the tackle on the kickoff. Yeah. To me, that's a team guy.
That's a team guy. If they were picking teams out here, he'd be chosen early. Pass across the middle. Bullets caught by Thomas. That ball was thrown between 2 defenders, and I don't know how it got through there. But Thomas, first of all, I don't know how Mason got it through there. Second of all, it's thrown into double coverage. I don't know how Thomas saw the ball to catch it.
I don't either. I don't know if Mason plays baseball, but he should.
Hey, listen, that's a risky throw. But I mean, that's when you don't mind making up 40-7. But that was a laser between 2 defenders. They had to, much like Eastep on the other end, that ball was defended, or play was defended pretty well. But again, Thomas going down to one knee, making that catch. I'm sure his vision was obstructed a little bit. But great catch and throw. Salmon looks to throw it again. Chased out of the pocket, is going to keep it himself, starts up the left side, still on his feet, makes a couple guys miss all the way down to the 20-yard line, hit and pulled down from behind. Every time he gets tackled, I get a little cringe. I just assume get him off the field here.
Yeah.
That's the one catch that makes everybody else better right now. And there's a bunch of folks coming in right now, and I think Coach Salmons is thinking the same thing that
I think he saw all he wanted to see.
Yeah, the wholesale substitutions right there, and that is a good call.
Looks like North's down 24-21 with 5 to go. We're trying to keep you up. We got a game going on here, but we're trying to keep you up on what's going around the state as well.
We appreciate that. I know these folks that listen to this game are interested in all those as well, because if you're listening to me and Burley and it a 40-7 game, you love high school football. That's all I can say. Well, you have absolutely nothing to do. New quarterback in the game is Brett Eastep. Turns, leaves it off with the first back through, and I believe that's Hart. I can't pick up the number just yet. It might be Brody Hart. He runs very well. He's probably the leading ground gainer on that JV bunch. Is that 27?
No, it's Trett.
Okay.
I think it's Luke Trett.
Luke Trett. Okay, my bad.
Let me make sure.
Yeah, 35.
35. Luke Trett.
Okay.
We've seen Brody some this year. He scored a couple of touchdowns.
I can see. how I could get 27 and 35 confused up here.
Yeah, that's another story.
9:20 to go. Clock moving. Corbin on top, 40-7. Hounds with it on the 15-yard line. Second team in for the Red Hounds. E-step moves up under center. Calls a signal. Takes it, leaves it off with Jackson. I believe he's going to try the right side. He may score. He's at the 5-10. Makes a nice move. Jack Jackson into for the touchdown. Good run that time by Jackson, and good blocking by the young Red Hounds as Corbin on the board again.
It's pretty exciting to watch Jack and E-Step, but little E-Step, as I call him, Brett is his name. But some of these kids, that's the future, and the future looks bright.
Well, we saw the middle school team out here getting recognized at halftime, going to the state championship game tomorrow. Those guys were through that here. They've won a bunch of those. They're very familiar with winning. They're not unfamiliar with championships.
No, the moment won't be too big for them.
I don't believe so. Witherington on to attempt the extra point. He booms this one through. Nice hold again by Salmons. And Corbin extends their lead to 47-7, 8:18 to go. Running clock has been running since just after the first half.
I know it seems we're turning our attention to high school football across the state. This one's well in hand. We're just trying to keep you up on scores, especially the Johnson Central Cub-Cath game. Sounds like it's a game a lot like the Corbin game, where Johnson Central jumped out to the lead, and now it looks like Cub-Cath's been able to come back.
If I had to me, and again, I'm certainly a layman. I'm not a quote unquote football person, but it seemed to me during the Corbin Johnson Central game, Johnson got a little winded, and I know Corbin plays fast. I don't know the style of play that Cub-Cath plays, but towards the end of that game, had we had another 3 minutes left in that game, I believe Corbin would have won that game here.
We just ran out of time.
We ran out of time, but they were winded, they were gassed, and again, a good football team. Don't get me wrong at all, and they're hard to play. And that game's not over yet. It's a 1-point game, so they could easily still come out a winner in that game. But that's kind of the way I saw that. But I do think that Corbin's style of play is a little bit difficult at times.
Cub-Cath has just went ahead 36-29.
All right. Well, we got it teed up, and a low ground ball kick by Witherington to the 30-yard line is going to be well covered by Corbin, and the ball carrier bumped out of bounds at about the 35, and that's where Lincoln County will take over.
Dave, our old buddy Scotty Williamson listening to us on his way home. Scotty, a former Red Hound, former mayor, and a very, very good friend, has always been supportive of the Corbin sports programs, not just football, but, when our teams go to state baseball or whatever it is, Scotty Williamson's there pulling for the Red Hounds.
Hey, Scotty's read him, and he played.
Yes, he did.
Scotty's a player. I mean, he knows what all this means. He's lived it.
Yes, he has. A fine Red Hound.
Good guy. He and of course his brother Les is the one who takes care of the cannon down there, which is a great special effects tonight on the cannon too. Got a little note from my buddy Todd Childress that he'd never seen that before, and I hadn't either. I didn't notice that there was special effects and colors involved in it tonight. But here's a quick pass out on the left side to Cash. He makes a couple moves and gets out near the 50-yard line. And in hurry-up mode are the Patriots. They'd like to get one more score on the board, I'm sure. Yeah, it's 22 Cash Smith. I got one of the two names right anyway. I know it's Cash something.
A lot of young guys in for Corbin.
40 to go. Excuse me, Coach. I'm sorry. Pass out to Bryce Floyd again. He's a nice receiver. This Floyd kid is. He's got 52 catches on the year. He's a senior, 9 touchdowns on the year. But Corbin's done a pretty good job of bottling him up.
Yeah, Lincoln just didn't have the firepower. They weren't. We were just a lot faster.
Foster still in the game. First handoff to Cash Smith. He's met by a host of young Red Hounds at about the 42-yard line, and we'll stack him up there.
We'll try to get some of these numbers. I see Braxton Simon and also number 40. That's Mason Simon also in the game.
Tucker Foster still the quarterback. Back to throw. Here comes a little pressure. Fires across the middle. He's got his man incomplete. Thrown behind him just a little bit. Pass intended out there for Mullins, I believe.
Looks like we got a pretty good mix of upperclassmen and freshmen and sophomores and playing. And you know, these guys, they've got to play a second half of the season a whole lot. It's been a good second half for Corbin's underclassmen.
Yeah, they played about half the game for the last month and a half. Foster going to keep it himself around the left side. He's got some room, makes a couple moves, still on his feet. Will be tracked down inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. He probably ran 60 yards and gained 30. That was a good run on by the quarterback.
Well, he's not give up. He's a competitor. I like him. But again, my hat's off to Lincoln County. What a great season. They're going to end up 9-3, 2 deep in the playoffs. They've got a lot of reason to be excited about football over in the beautiful area of Stanford.
Well, Foster, just a junior, he's back. He fires long down the right side. This one up for grabs in the end zone. Incomplete. No flag on the play. And that one's batted away back there, I believe. I'm trying to pick up the Corbin numbers. Well defended. I just can't see the number that far. Good play by that defensive back there on the right side.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up his number, too. I think it's number 84.
34.
34?
No, 84. I'm sorry. I believe it is 84, Burley.
That would be
Ethan Lester.
Ethan Lester. He's a junior. Ethan.
Well, there is a penalty on the play. They're marching it towards the Corbin or the Lincoln County goal line. I guess there was a pass interference. I thought they might call pass interference because there was some contact out there, but I just didn't see the flag. But evidently that was the call. Foster leaves it off straight up the gut. Running very hard in there is Spiegel. He's going to be hit and dropped after a gain of about 4. I'll tell you, these young Redhawks don't go down easy, do they?
No, you get excited. They get excited when they get in the game. Minute 55 to go. Johnson's got the ball. Timeout. Cubcats still ahead.
2:40 to go here at Corbin. Redhounds on top 47-7. This one really not the game. This didn't materialize the way we thought it might. Quarterback heads off the left side. Is going to be hit and pulled down about the 3-yard line. That's Tucker Foster. A couple of Corbin Redhounds in on the hit. That was number 3 in there. Marlowe playing with the kids his own age now.
Yeah.
And he makes the tackle. He had a couple big plays in this game. He had an earlier blitz that hit a kid for a loss. He's a nice player.
Started the game off recovering the onside kick. Was a good start for us.
Yeah, you're right. Marlowe's, you tell he's got a nose for football. His dad was a good player. Foster takes it, leaves it off with the second back through. Touchdown, Lincoln County. That's going to be number 34, Spiegel. He's a senior, their leading ball carrier on the year, and gets it into the end zone.
Yeah, it's pretty fitting that he gets to score in his last football game. But, again, Lincoln County got some fans, came over. I'm happy that they're excited about football over in that area of the state. Again, good year for Lincoln and to their fans and the people that follow Lincoln County football. We wish you all the best.
Yeah, classy touch there by Levi Rogers, head coach, getting Spiegel a touchdown there on probably his last carry of his career at Lincoln County. Extra point's good. Clock will continue to run. It's going to possibly run out before we even get this kickoff going. We'll be down inside a minute, and the player's just now getting over to the sideline. So I would be just fine if they lined up and shook hands right now. You would not, and I believe that's what they're going to do.
I think they're going to. Let's ask the fans not to forget Coach Jody Mauser's 8th grade CMS Redhounds going to go at it tomorrow up in Lexington. Going to play Rockcastle. I don't know why they just meet in London and save them both some time. They played right there.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and I think that both teams would have been all for that. Yeah, I think they're getting ready to start the handshake line right now, and that's a good move by both these coaches. I'll tell you, one of my favorite things about Stanford, Kentucky, that's Lincoln County, right, Stanford?
Lincoln, yes.
Is the Bluebird Cafe over there. One of my favorite places. Some of my wife's family run that place, and there's a little antique kind of a place over there. But it's one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten at anywhere is the Bluebird. So if you're a Lincoln County fan heading home, think about that. That's a great place. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. Shaking hands now, 2 seconds, 1 second, and this game is over with. Corbin wins at 47-14. Still awaiting the outcome of the Johnson Central Covington Catholic game. Once again, I know we've beat this silly here tonight, but if Cubcats were to upset or beat Johnson Central tonight, Corbin will be going to the winner of the Highlands and Ashton Paul Blazer game, and I think that game pretty much decided already as well.
Well, we should know soon what it's going to be. 35 seconds, and Johnson Central's got the ball. Cupcath still has a touchdown lead. So if Johnson does score, don't be surprised if they don't go for two and either win or lose.
Well, it's two good teams. I mean, you would not have been surprised that no matter which team wins. I had a feeling about Cupcath, but again, every time I thought about that, I thought about what a tough place to play over there, and boy, how gritty their kids are, so gritty. But at any rate, back to the task at hand here. Red Hounds, big win, Burley, and I know you're surprised because you school me regularly here about high school football, and I appreciate that. But this is one that both of us missed a little bit. But I expected a much tougher game than this.
I did. Now, I'm not surprised we won. I felt like we'd win the game,
right.
and I felt like we would win by a couple, 3 touchdowns. But it is what it is. It's been a running clock, and it was fairly easy. Lincoln coming in 9-2, and the reports I'd got about how physical they were, and it was just a mismatch with their speed. It was the difference in the game.
And I'm going to take the opportunity to throw one more jab here, just because we're on the radio here, and we can do that. But this is a perfect example of the fallacy of the RPI. These guys, they've been ahead of us all year long. How did that happen? I mean, where do you start that at? And it's a running clock, and yet if things had worked out, this could have cost us a home game.
It could have cost us a home game.
It's just not. I mean, it's just not. It's not a good way to do things, and I think sometimes making changes just for the sake of making changes will cause you to go backwards. I think when we alternated, you at least knew from year to year where you were going to be going, what was going to happen. But at any rate, enough of that. Corbin wins at 47-14, and they'll be on the road next week somewhere. We're going to try to hang on here just long enough to maybe see if we can get a final score on that Cupcath and Johnson Central game. Big game tonight for Cole Stevens, Burley. Again, he just continues to impress. He does it through the air. He does it on the ground. Mason Salmon's another 3 or 4 touchdown passes tonight. The offensive line again continues to improve. This was a pretty good test. This is a 9-2 team who played Franklin County, who's the number 3 team, to a 2-touchdown game.
Well, I think at some point we're going to have to say that
3 touchdown games. Excuse me.
We're a pretty decent football team. From where we were when I saw us at George Rogers Park in the scrimmage to where we're at now. Coach Sammons is a man of his word. He said, we're going to improve. We're going to continue to get better. We're not going to worry about who we're playing and what we're playing. We're going to get better. And they have as a football team. This is the 5th running clock in a row. Now, you can blame it on competition or you can blame it on whatever you want to, but hey, this just in, Corbin's pretty good.
Well, I would agree. And, again, last week, one thing he said to me that I've thought about all week long, and I called you immediately the next day and told you what he said. He said the Bryan Station game said, our kids were going nuts because, we did not throw a pass in the first half. And this is 6th game. He said, I told my lineman, he said, we're not going to throw another pass till you learn how to run block. He said, we're going to run it every play. And they did. Now, and I don't know, I would anticipate had the Lightning not gotten us and we didn't play the full game, we probably would have ran it every time. But he said, we were in a position to win that game by not throwing a pass. He said, we're going to do what we need to do. He said, but and to further that comment, he said, I'm so proud of my offensive lineman. And, Luke was an offensive lineman at Marshall. He knows what good line play is. He said that this team has come along so much over the past 3 to 4 to 5 weeks because of that offensive line. And I think you would echo those same comments.
Well, I can tell you 2 guys, there's several, but 2 in particular will tell you how important it is Mason Salmons and Cole Stevens, because they've had tremendous years. Both those guys have had just a remarkable senior year, or Cole a senior year, Mason a junior. And a big part of it's because Mason's had time to throw and Cole's had people out front blocking for him. So they would tell you in a hurry how much our line has improved and how much credit they deserve. We knew our defensive line's highly touted. Petrosky, Malachi Brown, Goins, Farmer, and even with Blaylock. But our offensive line didn't get a lot of notoriety, got a little criticism early, but I'll tell you this, they're on top of the hill right now.
Well, again, a big win for Corbin here, 47-14. We're going to take one more 30-second break, see if we can get a final on that Johnson Central Cupcath game. If not, then we will just have to read it in the newspaper to see. But we're going to try one more time. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. Stick around. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Need auto repairs? Then you need Owens Auto Repair. Owens offers a wide variety of parts and services. You'll find all the top name brand batteries and tires to a full line of truck and auto parts. Utility beds, Sherwin-Williams auto paint, weather guard toolboxes, custom-made hydraulic hoses, and yes, service work for cars, trucks, and RVs. Whether it's auto repairs or just a battery or new tires, Owens Auto Repair has you covered. Owens Auto Repair, serving you for more than half a century. Located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin.
All right, 47-14, the final score here. Corbin wins the football game. They'll be going on the road next week. They're once again, Burley, they're into they'll be into the final 8 next week. The 16 teams tonight pared down to 8. Not sure which direction Corbin's going. You may know now. You got your phone in your hand. Do we know who the winner is yet?
Well, it looks like Cub Cath looks like we're going to Highlands.
Cub Cath just won?
Yep, Cub Cath has won the game, and that's an upset. Johnson was picked to beat them. I don't necessarily think it's an upset. I thought Johnson would win, but those are two pretty evenly matched teams. Eddie Evanston's the coach at Cub Cath. He's one of the better coaches in Kentucky.
I don't pick them right too often, but I told you before the game I thought Cub Cath would win. And I've been watching their scores, and you know you've known through the years they don't mind going on the road. They'll play anywhere and I just thought that Johnson Central is as good a football team as they are so one-dimensional that when you get into that competition. But again, they've won state championships, so that they can make you like it sometimes, So, but again, obviously a very good game between two teams. They play next week, and Johnson Central may get the win. But so we do know now we've got a final on that game, at least according to Coach Wendell Foley, that Covenant Catholic has beaten Johnson Central. So Corbin will be going to play at Highlands next Friday. And that's going to be an interesting game. I think two teams are going to be pretty similar to one another, Coach.
Yeah, I was thinking today, you and I have traveled all over this state coaching, doing radio, playing softball or just whatever. We've had reasons to be all over the state doing something.
We play a little golf every now and
then. Just a little bit. That has something to do with sports. I've never been to Highlands. That's one place I've never been. I've heard about them. Even back in high school when I was playing, I always heard about the Bluebirds. And, of course, they've got some famous alumni. Jared Lorenzen, whose son, Jared is from Highlands. His son's one of their better players on this Highlands team. And then Chris Collinsworth's sons from NBC, or whoever does the game on Sunday night. His kids played there, and one of them went on to Notre Dame. So they have a famous alumni. They've had, at one time, if I'm not mistaken, they held the longest win streak in Kentucky for football. Now, again, that's been several years ago, so that may have changed. But I'm looking forward to making that trip for a couple of reasons. One, I think the Corbin Redhounds are going to be a tough out. I really do. I think offensively we've got some weapons. I think we've got a quarterback playing at a level that's just unbelievable. We've got a running back that's as good as anybody's running back. Our offensive line's playing good. Our defensive line is really played well. Cam Estep, he's always going to be the guy that's going to make plays for you. So I'm excited about going on the road, and or I'd rather play them here, but I'm excited to go to Highlands and just see how we stack up. And they're winning big tonight. They were ahead of Ashland, by the way, 35-0. So it is Highlands. We didn't want to discount Ashland, who Johnson Central beat pretty handedly too. So that will give you some idea. But pretty excited about you and I making that trip.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of funny, the further you go into these playoffs, how the tradition also rises to the top. Not that Johnson Central didn't have it, but Cub Cath has a lot of tradition. You're looking at Highlands, Corbin, Boyle County. I mean, it's kind of the more things change, the more they stay the same. But at any rate,
Bell County,
the Bell County, yeah. Our focus here on the Red Hounds, a great win for Corbin. They improve their record to 10-3 on the season now. And is it 10-3 or 9-3? 9-3. I'm sorry, 9-3 on the season with 47-14 win here over Lincoln County. And again, Lincoln County have been rated above Corbin all year long, so a good win here for the Hounds. They'll be in action next week for Fort Thomas Highlands. Made it to the final 8. Last year Corbin was a state semifinalist coach. We're going to have to win one more to get that far again this year, and hopefully even beyond that. I know that Luke won't be satisfied until they bring the big one home. But a lot of work between here and there. We'll start next week at Fort Thomas Highlands. That's going to wrap things up from here for James back at the station. Certainly appreciate him and all the help from all the folks that keep us on the air. Certainly thank you to all of our sponsors, and big thank you to Burley coming out a little bit under the weather tonight. We certainly appreciate him showing up for the game. But I'd like to remind everybody, we'll get you caught up on all of the playoff scenarios, all the wins, and everybody advancing, and also speak to Coach Salmon's extended interview tomorrow morning for about 30 minutes on the water cooler. We'll be on the air here on T107 from 9 o'clock a.m. till 10, and then Barty and I will review everything and let you know who's going where. A lot of teams in southeastern Kentucky still in the mix. So, all right, it's going to wrap things up from here. Once again, your final score, 47-14, Corbin a winner. That's going to wrap things up from Campbell Field. Stick around. We'll be back next week. Thank you.